9 tattooed dragons. Shi Jingluan wielded a blue dragon hidden chain. She then raised the heavenly spirit astral treasure, 9 dragons aromatic cart, and very quickly pierced through the Black Turtle Temple's final heavy water area. Her line of sight saw a hall that was enormous without compare. The middle had a black turtle figure facing each of the 4 cardinal directions, with its 4 heads and 4 mouths. The mouths flowed with a stream-like radiance. In the surroundings of the black turtle figure was a pond. This pond rippled with blue waves, dense mist rising in spirals. The Black Turtle Idol. The Black Turtle Temple's final layer. And legend said that Black Turtle Idol's 4 mouths were capable of spitting out the famed dragon snake good fortune pill. As far as uncontracted star maidens were concerned, the dragon snake good fortune pill could be said to be a divine item. Shi Jingluan relied on all sorts of precious treasures and spirit medicines to promote her cultivation and star energy greatly, but compared to other star generals that had signed contracts, she was still too slow. If she could have the dragon snake great good fortune pill, she would not be at a disadvantage facing those peak star generals star masters in the future. Shi Jingluan swept a finger across her pondering lips. Seeing the treasures in front of her, Shi Jingluan nevertheless was unworried. Rather, she leisurely stopped the 9 dragons aromatic cart, stepped off and just happened to see a flood roll several hundred meters away. 3 rays of golden light and 3 frightening water beasts emerged. The 3 beauties were each everlasting, and they were the Jin Pingmei sisters of the 3 Wands water fort. Wan Jiner also spotted Shi Jingluan. Her gaze turned stern. As far as this opponent star general of the Black Turtle territory was concerned, Wan Jiner did not show any hostility at all, nor did she show any fear. Her expression only had an unchanging indifference. Little sisters Jiner Pinger Mayor, Jingluan pays respects. Shi Jingluan stopped in front of them. Wan Pinger enviously looked at that 9 dragons aromatic cart that repelled water and fire, secretly envying that 9 tattooed dragons. Shi Jingluan's luck truly was good to unexpectedly obtain such a good treasure from a purple star treasure chest. Shi Jingluan, what are you thinking of doing? Wan Jiner was expressionless, a green light faintly glowing in her hand. Really, Fort Master Jiner, I merely wish to chat with little sister Jiner about this Black Turtle Temple. Shi Jingluan said. What is there to chat about? There is only one dragon snake great good fortune pill. Elder sister Jiner, we shall fight her. Humph. Wan Pinger was impatient. Wan Jiner did not bat an eyelid. Pinger is still so impatient. Shi Jingluan shook her head. Wan Jiner knew that what Pinger said was fact, but she did not initiate a fight. She knew that fighting no would only benefit Great Saint Starkiller, the Zhang sisters and others. How about we join hands? Shi Jingluan's eyes narrowed. We all have not contracted a star master, and even founded influences in the Black Turtle territory. We can be considered to have a connection. In the future star duels, we are on the same side any way it is put. What does Fort Master Jiner feel? Join hands? How do we join hands? Wan Jiner was neither warm nor angry. We 3 Wans are 3 heavenly stars. In the water, even Guaning would be gone forever. For what reason would we want to join hands with you? Wan Pinger laughed aloud. Wan Jiner was silent, indeed a meaning unto itself. It would be better to kill you right now, than break through the rest one by one. Elder sister, what do you feel? Wan Mayor also said. If little sister feels the 3 Wans can contend against all star masters, then treat Jingluan as if she did not say anything at all. Shi Jingluan was neither fast nor slow, her expression considerably gentle. These words made the 3 Wans say nothing more. Explain how you would join hands. Regardless of how we are, in the end, there is only one dragon snake great good fortune pill. Wan Jiner calmly said. This is very simple. We will first work together to defeat all star masters. When only we are left, then we will see each other's tricks. The loser's wholehearted acceptance is always better than being taken advantage of. To be the fisherman who gets the snipe and the clam. Is that not so? Shi Jingluan self-confidently replied. She smiled. In addition, I hear the 3 Wans and the Zhang sisters have become enemies and offended a star master that possesses the birth treasure outline. Although I do not know the identity of that star master, to be able to possess the birth treasure outline, Fort Master Wan Jiner ought to know just how dangerous he is. Minute star 9 tattooed dragon's words hit the nail on the head. Her hidden intent was that compared to her, the three Wans had far more enemies. This already was not a request, but an answer she could not refuse. Wan Jiner's gaze flashed with an odd light. Sure, Jingluan, have you actually made such a decision? Of course, I have said we are kindred spirits. Sure, Jingluan smiled. Since ancient time, we ought to have been in the same boat. Wan Jiner muttered to herself. Fine, we agree with you. We shall join hands to eradicate the other star masters. Sure, Jingluan smiled. Suddenly at this moment, 2 red shooting stars fell one after another into the depths. In the pitch-black sea, they drew a shocking path. Then, their lines of sight were entirely a blood-like red. Sure, Jingluan's expression suddenly changed. Double starfall? Palace of Empress Hua. The afterimages of Yan Yizhen's fists were continuous, the lights of yin and yang intersecting, endlessly suppressing the ancestor's specter. Bing Qingshuan's flying swords continuously pursued to attempt to attack Yan Yizhen. Those short bangs, pupils cold as ice, that posture wonderful as dancing and attack was impeccably calm. Yan Yizhen was like a falcon shuttling back and forth swift as lightning. Even if she was occasionally forced into a dead end by the attacks of the flying swords, her nimble silhouette was sufficient enough to save her, and still constantly suppressed Mu Qingying, making her unable to break free. Yin-yang carps. Mu Qingying merely felt this was only the blink of an eye. That cold and detached figure arrived in front of her. The deep radiance gathered into ice-cold and fiercely ripped, bringing a black light to the eyes of her target. Mu Qingying leaned to evade this attack, her eyes filled with lingering fear. Such a terrifying person. The girl's double saber slash changed into a horizontal sweep, squarely chopping the enemy leaping into the air. Even though she had made mental preparations to use her weapon as a buffer, Yan Yizhen's tyrannical attacks still were not to be underestimated. Under a powerful impulse force, Mu Qingying's body suddenly was tossed several meters away. The instant she landed, Yan Yizhen's attack immediately followed, launching without any pause, without any leeway. In the next second, Bing Qingshuan's flying swords blocked in front of her, a lightning flash cutting open space. Immediately, they suppressed Yan Yizhen. Yan Yizhen then punched, the lights of the yin-yang carps crisscrossing on her body. Sweeping aside the flying swords, the darkness seemed to resonate. The air ripped apart, suddenly revolting. The sharp blade drew a bright, long line in the air. Yan Yizhen's eyes burned with an ice-cold flame. Suddenly, her hands clenched, and all of her strength concentrated into her hands. Her murderous aura seemed to be substantial. This was the posture for a full power attack. The next instant, Yan Yizhen struck. Her fists become a yin-yang dragon, ripping apart the palace and engulfing the ruins, pouncing towards Mu Qingying with a roar. Not only this, after releasing this powerful strike, Yan Yizhen did not stop her movements at all. Rather, she continuously chopped with her palms in an assault. Each chop spurt forth lightning. Within a second, at least 100 attacks were wielded. Qingying! Bing Qingxian shouted. A blood-curdling scream. Mu Qingqing could only close her eyes. Immediately, her figure was sunk under the boxing technique. Mu Qingying's double sabers blocked, but Yan Yizhen's fists were extremely fast. Fast as quicksilver, her whole body sustained attacks on every place. Ice-cold and scorching hot power pierced into his bone. Mu Qingying only felt her soul about to shatter. Her body disintegrated, and she was unable to persevere, disappearing with incomparable indignation. Bing Qingshuan's head hurt, and he was shocked. Mu Qingying already fell into the star nest. Liked it. Qingying! Bing Qingxian hoarsely shouted. He had never thought that the investigative star would unexpectedly lose her life. Yan Yizhen did not say a word, did not stop at all. She then attacked Bing Qingxian. Although she had struck investigative star Mu Qingying back into the star nest, the Star Master was still present. The investigative star could still revive again. Bing Qingxian cursed to himself that this was shameful. He pointed a magic weapon, and 2 green short swords suddenly multiplied in size. The blade's edges had strange inscriptions, clear light lingering. Cold rays flickered, intersected, and carved towards Yan Yizhen's neck. This treasure was named Beheading Flying Dagger, a magic weapon that previously belonged to ancestral master Su Wangchuan. When these daggers emerged, they pincer attacked from the left and right, twisting along their paths at a level to behead someone. Even if you wore armor, they would cut through iron like mud, their might endless. Yan Yizhen halted her body techniques, her palms like hooks forming the taiji. She nimbly danced left and right, the light rays and flames of yin and yang exploding. The skillful star grabbed, and the beheading flying daggers were seized by Yan Yizhen before they could cut into the maid's neck. The flying daggers cried endlessly in Yan Yizhen's hands, their edges constantly flowing in an effort to break free. A powerful force made Yan Yizhen have no choice but to halt her advance. Bing Qingxian showed a resentful expression. He wanted to take revenge for Mu Qingying, and his flying swords were just about to seize the chance to attack Yan Yizhen. Suddenly his whole body felt cold. Glimpsing white clothes out of the corner of his eye, Bing Qingxian was shocked, silently shouting, "Oh no!" He did not know when Gong Kaiwei had undone the Aurora bottle. In her hand was the snow tracing sword, and with a profound pace, she gracefully arrived. That sword in her hand of cold light stabbed at Bing Qingshuan's chest. Bing Qingshuan's protective clear light was pierced through by the snow-white sword's tip. Sword light transformed into a blue dragon bearing it claws and fangs. A soul-imbued flying sword. Bing Qingxian spat a mouthful of blood. Run through by the dragon, Bing Qingxian was worthy of being the most high-path's secretly nurtured star master. If it was any other cultivator, being attacked by Gong Saiwei's soul-imbued sword qi, perhaps they powerless to reverse the situation. Bing Qingxian nevertheless used both hands to firmly grab the flying sword. His palms were soaked in blood, not at all grim. Gong Kaiwei coldly twisted the sword. Bing Qingshuan's face nearly contorted, and the flesh of his palm was twisted apart. Although he tasted suffering, he finally grasped an opportunity. Bing Qingxian did not hesitate to use the outlaw jade pendant, and his figure became smoke. Instantly, he disappeared from within the palace of Empress Hua. Humph. To be unable to dispatch this despicable assassin in a single strike, Gong Kaiwei showed regret. To think that there would still be an assassin in the future star duels, Gong Kaiwei felt very uncomfortable. Elder sister Little E, are you alright? And Suwen breathed a sigh of relief. With quick steps, she reached Yan Yizhen's front and activated spiritual aura distribution, healing her wounds. Yan Yizhen shook her head. She spread open her palms. Those magic weapons unexpected were crushed to dust, disappearing into the wind. Gong Saiwei's eyebrows rose as she bowed and said thanks. Then, without another word, she turned and walked towards another corridor. And Suwen saw this, and then she rushed with Yan Yizhen to the highest floor of the palace of Empress Hua. At this moment, time already was not plentiful for them. Great Saint Starkiller and Guaning pursued full star Meng Hudi with an all-out effort, but their opponent was a water general, like a fish back in water so long as they were in the ocean. She waved her flag, making countless puppets that were endlessly killed yet greatly hindered the speed of their pursuit. Needless to say, Meng Hudi already escaped from their eyes. The Grand Galaxy Cultivator unexpectedly escaping before his eyes made Great Saint Starkiller fill with fury. However, Great Saint Starkiller very quickly calmed down. He still had something even more important to go settle. Young master, where are you going? Guaning wrinkled her eyebrows when saw that Great Saint Starkiller did not go in the direction of the Black Turtle Idol. To go find the other Star Masters. The 3 Ruans, 9 Tattooed Dragon and even that Li Jun too, and the Zhang sisters definitely are at the Black Turtle Idol right now. We have no need to rush there now. Those good fortune pills are not so easy to take. Great Saint Starkiller slightly smiled. That smile was as splendid as when Guaning first saw him, but for some reason, the brave star's heart felt a chill. Then, is young master preparing to wait for them to fall into internecine strife? Great Saint Starkiller nodded. Now we will go find the fishes that escaped the new, humph. This great saint fears that many star masters have come to the Black Turtle Temple. Just as he said this, Great Saint Starkiller was taken aback. He chuckled lowly. Speak of the devil. Great Saint Starkiller's rising sword flew, and Guaning followed. Not long after, Guaning saw 2 young girls were currently frolicking in the Black Turtle Temple. One wore a white qipao and leisurely strolled in the sea while the other girl indifferently drank wine and broke apart several puppets with several punches as they searched for something. Seeing these two were not at all powerful sisters, Guan Ying's heart sunk, and she stopped following. Li Beilian and Shermeng currently searched for materials in the Black Turtle Temple. They were only wandering around the area outside of the heavy water without any worry. The most important thing in the Black Turtle Temple was the dragon snake Great Good Fortune Pull. All the star masters that came here were entirely for the sake of this objective. They thought of course no one would stop at any other place to waste time. But they were not divine mathematician Jiang Shui. They were without the ability of foresight. Reality was not as simple as they thought. Suddenly, a black shadow attacked them. Li Beilian and Shermeng counterattacked without thinking. The attacker was odd, without flying sword arts, not using any magic treasures. Neither could they see a star general in accompaniment. This person seemed to have pounced over looking for death. Li Beilian snickered seductively. This fighter wants to dive into Elder Sister's embrace, but Elder Sister is not so easy to take advantage of. As she said this, star weapon Cold Night Desolate Kill came out and sprinkled white wine. Ah! The other side screamed. They fell into the trap as expected. White Bone's wine splashed on and suddenly rent the attacker's flesh. The protective star energy was nearly completely wiped away by White Bone's wine. Shermeng coldly snorted, thereupon waving a fist as heavy as Mount Tai, landslide. This punch was precise. This cultivator in front of them that did not know the immensity of heaven and earth inevitably would die horribly with regrets under this attack. Shermeng's sneer disappeared. Ugly Starstone General was shocked to sense that although her punch was fatal, she was far from pulverizing her opponent. Supercluster late-stage cultivator? Shermeng was shocked, astonished to see that demonic man show a triumphant evil grin. This smile instantly passed, but it made Shermeng endlessly palpitate. Suddenly, the opponent screamed, and his body floated backwards like a kite that broke free of its string. Shermeng immediately felt a powerful danger surround her. Without hesitation she shouted, "Beilian, run away!" What? Li Beilian was even preparing to use poison wine. When she heard Shermeng's words, she froze on the spot. Just at this moment, the seawater suddenly rolled, ripped apart by a powerful force. Quickly run! Shermeng's foot stepped, her cloud-piercing rock-splitting boxing gloves in hand, preparing to use her dark rank boxing to kill her foe. Before her fists had even waved, a frost-fair blade already blocked her front. Cold light glinted, and an evil chi turned dense, one slash sending her flying. Her eyes were dazzled. Guaning did not have any room at all to think, slashing immediately with her great blade. Shermeng's fists blocked, her body's skin turning into stone. The 4-star Frost-Fair blade was wrapped in boundless cold, and Shermeng's defenses became more laughable than paper. A chill slashed past her body, bringing an unopposable promise of death. Brave Star Greatblade Guansheng. Quickly run! Shermeng was pale, her consciousness fading, immediately star-falling into Maiden Mountain. Shermeng! Li Beilian's seductive appearance was immediately replaced by alarm. The Cold Night Desolate Kill bottle was raised, and Slave Star Life-Taking Judge did not shrink back in the slightest as she poured out White Bone's wine. Slowly, white mist flooded this area of the sea, corroding star energy. Why do you not run? Guaning shouted in a low voice, her hands unable to control her movements. The unrivaled intimidating aura exploded. The Frost-Fair blade was like a hot knife through butter, and the White Bone's wine was devoured by the blade chi. Following on its heels was blade chi that surrounded her body. Li Beilian also instantly fell into Maiden Mountain, a starfall. Double starfalls. Great Saint Starkiller fully enjoyed the power of 2 crimson stars, but his expression was not at all relaxed as he stared fixedly at Guaning. 3 devil stars twinkled on the Frost-Fair blade. The torturous black chi wound around Guaning like an accusing ghost. The brave star was unconcerned, letting this pain linger about herself. A long while after, Guaning finally regained her calm. When she lifted her gaze, her eyes were full of a deep gloom. Truly, this great saint did not expect there would surprisingly be 2 star generals. Great Saint Starkiller feigned lingering trepidation. Young master, you must be all right. Guaning walked in front of Great Saint Starkiller, expressionlessly spitting out these words, somewhat mocking his act. Ing you. Great Saint Starkiller hesitated. This general is unfettered. Only sacrifices can achieve hegemony. Inger understands. Guaning smiled. This smile nevertheless made Great Saint Starkiller drew in a breath. Inger, you cannot let emotions affect your decisions. Guaning nodded. It is about time. We can go to Black Turtle Temple. Great Saint Starkiller said. The urgent sea's white spirit python became a white arrow piercing through the sea. Zhang Yuqi's expression was grave. She looked at Su Xing, quietly saying, Young Su, Yuqi fears those starfalls were. Su Xing sighed and shook his head. 2 starfalls at the same time. Most likely, they were star generals of the Spring Breeze Drunken Rain Pavilion. Su Xing turned his head back to look at Gu Tong. Female Tiger appeared to have foreseen what had happened, for her face became exceedingly solemn. Very quickly, the urgent sea's white spirit python reached the area of the starfalls. At this moment, that place already was empty and swept clean. Zhang Yuqi sniffed the air, and wrinkled her brow. There's a disgusting devil qi. This was Guan Sheng's doing. Gu Tong asked her. Most probably. Rumor has it that Guan Sheng's weapon has been embedded with a 9 nether devil star stone, purportedly very formidable. Zhang Yuqi said, not very clear. Gu Tong's knuckles turned white. Su Xing saw that she was apparently enduring the fury in her heart. He wanted to say something consoling, but female Tiger shook her head, gazed ahead and used a sound transmission. This old lady does not want your consolation. As far as we are concerned, Starfalls are no more than a return to Maiden Mountain. This would have happened sooner or later. But do not tell anything to Tang Tang. Female Tiger did her utmost to maintain her expressionlessness, only because she did not want to hurt Bai Yutong. Su Xing nodded. Thanks. Female Tiger softly said, her tone softening. You should take the other sisters back for now. Guaning, I shall deal with her. Su Xing said. Seeing Female Tiger's eyes were somewhat stubborn, Su Xing said over sound transmission. I know you don't fear starfalls, but there's no need for you to throw your life away. I don't want to let Tang Tang personally see you starfall. Su Xing's words were ruthless, however. Only these sorts of ruthless words could make the female tiger wake up from the hate she had fallen into. Gu Tong looked pensively. She bit her lips and said, Su Xing, so long as you can kill Guaning, I will then serve you. Don't use your life to make a deal. Su Xing shook his head. This will only make your remaining life fall even deeper into suffering. Gu Tong and Zhang Yuqi were taken aback. Star female tiger Gu Tong finally still was convinced to go seek out the other sisters, and Su Xing relentlessly rushed for the lowest floor of the Black Turtle Temple. Young Su, is what you said just now sincere? What? Su Xing lifted his head from his thoughts. You rejected the female tiger. TSK, do you reject a star general that has thrown herself into your arms? Zhang Yuqi clicked her tongue. Do you feel you have too many star generals? Honestly, you are a man cared for by the heavens to the point of envy. I don't need her to tell me to kill Great Saint Starkiller. I'd still go kill him. Su Xing said candidly. If he had agreed, he actually would appear to be a small person. Zhang Yuqi winked and giggled. However, although you said this, Yuqi also knows that if you actually kill Guaning, the female tiger still may sign a contract with you. I really wanted to as well. Su Xing smiled. He gazed at the girl's slim figure and mischievously winked. Yuqi, the black turtle idol will inevitable by extremely dangerous. It'd be better if you and I signed a contract. Zhang Yuqi covered her mouth, a look of, I knew you would say that. Yuqi concedes that young Su indeed is a very moving star master, however Yuqi cannot. Why? Su Xing was puzzled. Since she was moved, why would she not sign a contract? Sometimes, he honestly could not understand just what the star maidens of Maiden Mountain were thinking. If he had signed contracts when he was first at the Spring Breeze Drunken Rain Pavilion, perhaps no one would have starfell. Seeing Su Xing was somewhat hurt, Zhang Yuqi smiled. Young Su has 10 sisters serving him? Yuqi guesses that the 10 sisters aren't following randomly? Exactly. If Yuqi arbitrarily signed a contract with young Su, then Yuchi does not have very much face before the other sisters. Although the star duels are important, this is only for self-preservation. What use is this sort of contract? Su Xing was speechless. He knew that Maiden Mountain's star general had haughty dignity, but to hear damaged star white stripe in the wave's words, he was still rather powerless. According to her words, a star general would rather die than sign a contract with some other star master for the sake of saving her own life, even if that star master could take her up Maiden Mountain to start an epic. Really? You really don't want to sign a contract with me? If Yuchi said so, what are young Su's thoughts? Zhang Yuchi seemingly smiled. Then your servant apparently can only seriously pursue you. Yuchi, making you give your heart isn't as arbitrary as you feel. Su Xing said. Zhang Yuchi struck her palm flirtatiously saying, worthy of the man that Yuchi chose, however, to think of making Yuchi give a blowjob, young Su will be very tired. Outside the palace of Empress Hua, Nangong Xing, Xian Junzi, Ancestor Longevity, Queen Lady of Ice and the other sect ancestors hovered everywhere, setting down at the palace of Empress Hua a large and inescapable array. Has the purple thunder monster come? Nangong Xing's voice entered the minds of the great cultivators. This one of the most high path's 4 supervoid ancestral masters showed a cold and detached personality, her might pressuring all cultivators present to shrink back, as if she was about to erupt in anger at any moment. Xian Junzi and the others looked at each other in dismay, for they knew why Nangong Xing would say this. Several of the clear void most high path's great sect masters, including supervoid ancestral masters the likes of Invulus of the East, had perished under the purple thunder monster's hand. Furthermore, by what he had done, the 10 great sects had been branded evil. As far as the purple thunder monster was concerned, the most high path had an absolutely justifiable reason to kill him, and the fact was thus. Nangong Xing was on the threshold of breaking through to supervoid middle stage, and had left seclusion for the palace of Empress Hua. The most high path even dispatched 100 galaxy disciples to stand guard, an attitude of desire to capture the purple thunder monster, and it was no wonder that Nangong Xing would be so fidgety. It was known that the 3rd phase was already passing, and that the 4th phase 3 heavenly books was about to begin. Each Star Master's power would improve drastically. The most powerful Earth rank techniques also began to be comprehended. If they waited until that moment, even if the most high path used all of their power, they could not possibly be the purple thunder monster's opponent. To speak of it was unbelievable. Yet this was a cruel fact. It seems that the purple thunder monster also fears the most high path to not have appeared yet. Xianzhenzi said. This purple thunder monster is only thus. Ancestor Longevity felt regretful. He actually was looking forward to the purple thunder monster and most high path breaking out into a battle. Regardless of whoever won, they were a great detriment to the other sects, so he would happily watch. Someone has broken through the array. Queen Lady of Ice suddenly spoke, her voice icy. 100 ice spirit snow soul flying swords fluttered. The expressions of Nangong Xing and the others shook. However, when they noticed that the intruder was a young girl, Nangong Xing immediately cooled down. Who are you? To dare breach the array? The newcomer was a young lady, her appearance dainty with cheeks of pink and red phoenix brows. Her head wore a Qilin cap, and she was clad in golden armor and a yellow shirt. Leaves embedded the edges of her skirt. Her inner clothing was a cloud shirt woven of golden silk, and her legs were equipped with golden armored dragon scale boots. In her hand was a weapon enveloped in glorious gold light. Her presence was reserved, quite extraordinary. Across all of Liangshan continent, perhaps only the Star Maidens were like this. She was none other than Lu Xiao. Hiding your head yet showing your tail, reveal your true self. Nangong Xing coldly said. The supervoid fairy's eyes squinted. Could it be that you are Lin Chong? Is your man still cowering with his tail between his legs? How you speak of Su Xing? Shower and he have actually crossed paths a few times. His wives certainly are beautiful. You all are still making designs on him? Lu Xiao facetiously batted her eyes at them. Shower kindly advises you all to give up. To be able to make Lin Chong, Wu Song, Gong Sun Huang, Yin Qing and other star generals serve him. You are digging your own graves, bringing dishonor upon yourselves. What? The ancestors were shocked to hear that long string of names. Each name was an overlord in some aspect. You jest. To unexpectedly speak this kind of big bluff truly is stupid. Nangongxing snorted disdainfully. How could she believe this? Shower has said everything she wanted. If you insist on sending Su Xing magic weapons and brocades, then Shower has no way to help you. Lu Xiao shrugged and stepped into the array. Nangongxing's finger pointed. A powerful force pressed on Lu Xiao's shoulder, making her unable to move forward an inch. Lu Xiao raised her head and smiled. What are you doing this for, your distinguished self? Shower wishes to go to Palace of Empress Hua. Could it be you all want to hinder a star general? Nangongxing completely disdained to speak. She pointed, and several rays of clear light fell. Lu Xiao raised her divine weapon to block. Bang! The weapon wrapped in golden light immediately repelled Nangongxing's powerful magic energy. It was revealed to be a resplendent golden lance, carved and engraved with dragons and other beasts. The spearhead had a Qilin, and the body was a beautiful gold. What was particularly impressive were the 4 swirling stars. Everyone present was astonished. For star. Golden Qilin lance. You are the ranked second, the one ranked first in martial force, strength star Jade Qilin Lu Junyi. Ancestor Longevity hoarsely shouted. Nangongxing's pupils could not help but slightly shrink. Hey, Shower very much loathes this sort of conduct that pries into others' secrets without permission. The smile vanished from Lu Xiao's face. Strength star Jade Qilin's expression was cold, her tone showing a will to kill. Lu Xiao took a step forward. Just the intimidating aura and 4 stars made Ancestor Longevity and the other supercluster ancestors subconsciously take a step back. The most first-rate martial general. Although she had never ascended Maiden Mountain, her feats were brilliant. The star generals that star fell at her hand included Gong Sunsheng, Wu Song to Lin Chong. Each and every one of Maiden Mountain's famous star generals had once bled under this golden Qilin lance. What was a heavenly star? This was it. Nangongxing sneered. As a first-rate supervoid cultivator, she was already accustomed to not placing anyone in her eyes. How could she be intimidated by Lu Xiao? However, it appeared that Nangongxing seemingly did not want to provoke this most powerful martial general at all. Her imposing aura retracted. So you are strength star Jade Qilin. Truly, your reputation precedes you. Those things you said about Su Xing just now look to be true? The corners of her lips slightly curled. Lu Xiao soared into the sky, forming a golden rainbow. The golden Qilin lance slashed out a flowing light of gold. Nangongxing's eyes flashed with a tranquil light. Ferocity flickered across her face, and her wrist turned, revealing a green ruler. With a shake, numerous ruler shadows bubbled forth from the original. The green light radiated, and wherever it passed, all of the golden shadows were easily shattered, becoming particles of spirit light that faded from sight. This green ruler appeared to be an extraordinary magic weapon. Lu Xiao very quickly showed her figure in the green light. After a smile, the golden Qilin lance did not stop at all. Nangongxing was resentful. The green light flashed, and all of the ruler shadows once again gathered together, forming one green ruler that made a beeline for Jade Qilin Lu Xiao's front, moving for a strike. Lu Xiao raised and slashed with the golden Qilin lance. At the instant the green ruler was about slash upon the weapon, light flashed, making the group practically unable to look directly. This ruler was covered under this glaring light. Suddenly one became 2, and in its original place was left a green ruler image that was exactly the same as the previous one. The true body nevertheless indistinctly stuck into space, disappearing with a flash. Then it instantly reappeared on Lu Xiao's flanks. The 2 rulers turned into the style of the dual modes, yin and yang, heaven and earth. Dual modes ruler. Lu Xiao's expressions was vigilant. The 2 green rulers' shadows struck the golden light of Lu Xiao. Green light that looked astonishing erupted out. Lu Xiao blocked the first strike, but several zhang above her head, an apparently imperceptible ripple gently formed. The other green ruler strangely appeared, plunging down without any hesitation. Soundless, it did not bring the sound of wind. In an instant, The ruler fell to a place that was mere chi away from Lu Zhao's cranium, when there was another flash. Instantly, an enormous spiritual pressure exploded, striking without the slightest bit of concealment. Like a suspended galaxy, a silvery light flashed. Its power was honestly incomparably astonishing. This ruler was but the famous prehistoric spirit treasure dual modes ruler. Its attack and defense were invulnerable. The shadows were in layers, reversing heaven and earth, inverting yin and yang. When approached by the dual modes ruler, to escape was extremely difficult. Just ancestor longevity, and the others broke into cold sweat for the jade Qilin. Lu Xiao was indifferent, not moved in the slightest. The golden Qilin lance left her hand, and then she straddled a golden Qilin. Her whole body was enveloped in a brilliant golden light. That golden Qilin opened its mouth, and a ray of golden light appeared from the surrounding space. It split apart the silver cloud like a lightning strike, striking a green ruler. The green ruler shuddered, immediately letting out a shrill screech. The dual modes ruler's images were increasingly numerous, striking Lu Xiao. With a bang, green light and golden light interwove, bursting out a heaven and earth-shattering noise. A shockwave visible to the naked eye spread from the epicenter of the explosion, scattering wildly in all directions. That is the golden Qilin. Ancestor longevity was shocked. Nangongxing's face was grim. Bang! The light rays broke, and the dual modes ruler's shadows unexpectedly were broken by the Qilin. Not good. Nangongxing changed. Nangongxing turned her head back. Lu Xiao already had arrived behind her in the blink of an eye, a slender trail of blood appearing on Nangongxing's cheek. Shower will not keep you company. Lu Xiao straddled her star unicorn dragon horse, her hand gripping the golden Qilin lance. Her whole body released golden light, appearing very awe-inspiring. The strength star smiled, spurring her star beast to fly towards the palace of Empress Hua. Nangongxing's eyebrows rose. She resisted the urge to lash out. The Most High Path already was as incompatible as fire and water with the purple thunder monster. If at this moment they offended Strength Star Jade Qilin, Maiden Mountain's #1 Marshal General, even the Most High Path could not hold out. All throughout Lu Junyi's charming laughter, Nangongxing followed with her eyes until she disappeared into the palace of Empress Hua. Her hand wiped away the trail of blood on her cheek, and her delicate hand flicked. Green shadows coalesced together to reform the dual modes ruler back in her hand. Seeing her own prehistoric spirit treasure was powerless, Nangongxing snorted with considerable resentfulness. Are these star generals all transforming star of annihilation level? TSK truly abnormal. Ancestor longevity enviously put his palms together. Suddenly, Ancestor longevity's gaze shot a glance, and he showed a shocked expression. Ancestor longevity, what are you making a fuss about? Xianzhenzi looked back, speaking to him. Ancestor longevity opened his mouth, but immediately shook his head. Just now he seemed to have sensed a silhouette dart across his line of sight, and enter the palace of Hua at the same time. However, upon immediate thought, he was of supercluster late-stage cultivation in any case. Who could have been able to slip away from his eyes? Even if they could, with the inescapable array that they had set down on the palace of Empress Hua, they could not have broken free, save for if they were as headstrong as Lu Xiao. Seeing the expression of each of the other ancestors were all calm, Ancestor longevity felt he probably was paranoid. Even Lu Junyi has come to the palace of Empress Hua. It seems these 1,000-year tears of Empress Hua will not be so easy to take. Ancestor longevity slightly smiled, not even the slightest bit of danger in his words. Xianzhenzi, Nangongxing, and Queen Lady of Ice shot a glance at him. Judging by Ancestor longevity's tone, it seems you were eager for Lu Junyi to come. Xianzhenzi stroked his paling beard, his tone profound. Meaning Yan Wudao's Star General Agile Star Zhangqing's star weapon is truly 4-star, 5-star? Nangongxing faintly said, recovering her previous dignified attitude. Ancestor longevity smiled without saying a word. The gazes of all the great cultivators suddenly shuddered with fear. At this moment, Black Turtle Temple's final floor, Black Turtle Idol. Jiang Xiyu brought full star jade flagpole Meng Hudi in a rush to the final floor. When he caught sight of what happened in front of him, he was greatly shocked. He saw the 3 Ruan sisters and 9 tattooed dragons Shi Jingluan, in an alliance currently battling 3 people. The man in the middle wore a black robe and devil armor. He continuously controlled flying swords to resist the combined attacks of the 4, and the 2 beautiful women on his left and right each danced. One was noble and elegant, holding a white lance with 3 glimmering stars. She stirred the water, and a myriad of water dragons flocked over, whirling around non-stop in the hall, attacking. The girl's water magic was brilliant, and with a wave, she alone stalled Wan Xiaowu and Wan Xiaoqi. The other young girl wore black muslin. Her long hair fluttered about, and her hand had a devil's claw. 5 stars glittered like 5 demonic specters unhurriedly emerged, and unexpectedly did not lose out to 9 tattooed dragons in battle. White Knight Dragon Carving Lance. Longevity Star River Dragon Li Jun. 5 Demons Infernal Devil Claws. Correct Star Demon King of Chaos Fan Rue. Queen Jingluan. The 3 Ruan Fort Masters quickly stop. We should not allow the others to succeed. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon shouted. He controlled the 9 Phantasms 10 Bane's capital demon sword to contend against Sword Star Ruan Jiner's flying swords. Sword Star Ruan Jiner's innate skill was flying sword. All the flying swords she controlled perhaps were not as profound or brilliant as a cultivator's, but the might of more than 100 flying swords was vast. Add on that Ruan Jiner also had a destined star weapon, Azure Sea's green duckweed. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon relied on his ancient devil sword and his heavenly devil battle armor in order to barely resist, but he was already lacking in strength. His heart was resentful. Borrowing River Dragon Li Xiangfei's top-notch water general abilities to come to Black Turtle Idol, he had originally hoped he could cooperate with Great Saint Starkiller. How could he have foreseen that Great Saint Starkiller unexpectedly still had not arrived? On the contrary, 9 tattooed dragons and the 3 Ruans had an appearance of guarding a tree stump waiting for rabbits. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon had just thought to step forward and make a suggestion, to instigate a relationship when at this time the 4-star generals took action against him. Fuck. This heavenly star, 3 powerful water generals, they nearly made Holy Lord of Draconic Demon die. Fortunately, he had contracted 2 stars. Li Xiangfei and Fan Ming could not be underestimated, barely battling on even ground. However, Holy Lord of Draconic Demon also knew that if this continued, he would inevitably be defeated. His heart was secretly shouting in panic. So annoying, just die. Don't dawdle around. Wan Pinger disdainfully said. The seas rolled, and an enormous wave raged. The 3 star beasts of the 3 Ruans emerged at the same time. Li Xiangfei coldly snorted, and her own star beast suddenly hissed. Half fish and half dragon. Its figure was long, its whole body gleaming with crystalline reflections, especially intelligent. Dragonling Kiss. 2. The river dragon surprisingly has this kind of first-rate marine star beast. Jiang Xiyu was excited. The Blue Wave's underworld quail, a Nitya Dragon King beast, and the ancient dragon alligator battled the Dragonling Kiss. The one with the Zhang sisters is the purple thunder monster. Could it be you all still wish to have battle with this Holy Lord? The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon sneered. Ruan Jiner's brows rose. Wan Pinger jeered. Do you think I'm an idiot? I've already seen Su Xing long ago. If he is the purple thunder monster, how could he sign a contract with Husan Yang? Watch this star magic. What? Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was flabbergasted. 9 tattooed dragons Shi Jingluan was stunned, an odd glint flashing past her eyes. He may be able to contract multiple star generals. This Holy Lord and he have fought before. If we fight again, we definitely will give him an advantage. It would be better for us to work together to dispatch the purple thunder monster. At worst, this Holy Lord will not want the dragon snake great good fortune pill. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon said in a low voice. Wan Pinger had an expression deriding him as an idiot. Surprisingly uttering this sort of excuse, we Wan sisters also battled with him. Why did we not see Lin Chong? Stop with the coyness. If you are a man, be a bit more straightforward. Either roll or die. Wan Pinger's personality was impatient. and she only treated the Holy Lord of Draconic Demons' words as mere pleas for forgiveness. Why would she listen? The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon extremely hated her, but as it happened, he had no way to prove anything. Bastard, you will definitely regret this. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon used the Devil Smoke shapeshift to dodge Yuan Mayer's attack. Young master, there is no need to say anything more to them. Li Xiangfei was grim. Fortunately, with a top-notch water general like her, they still could persist for a time, but to give up like this made the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon very indignant. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon immediately had thoughts of fleeing. Just at this moment, he glanced at Jiang Xiyu. He hastily shouted, "Brother Xiyu, quickly come help me." The Black Turtle Territories Devil Palace and Devil Sects had a saying. The Star Masters of the 5 great sects were actually a bit familiar with one another. With the Devil Star Palace's Great Saint Starkiller as the head, the other 4 sects were more or less in relations with one another. Jiang Xiyu's Fiend Soul Sect and the Holy Lord of Draconic Demons' Heavenly Underworld precisely were among the 4 devil sects, and they were also considered allies. Jiang Xiyu clearly did not want to interfere, for he gazed at the Black Turtle Idol's good fortune pill. Holy Lord of Draconic Demons' Devil Smoke shapeshifting escaped to in front of Jiang Xiyu. The 3 Ruans and 9 tattooed dragons are rats together in a nest. We need to work together, otherwise we will have to submissively cup our fists and yield this Black Turtle Temple to them. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demons said, "Today the Black Turtle Territories Devil Sects will be rooted out from here together." Yuan Jiner disdainfully asserted. They completely could not coexist with Star Masters. Naturally, they would not let go of such a good opportunity. Jiang Xiyu clenched his teeth. Hudi advance. Full Star Jade Flagpole Meng Hudi already was ready to go. Her Star Beast sky-flipping fish emerged, and the Eastern Sea crystal blue flag unfurled. Countless water puppets appeared, forming a large cloud that threw themselves at the 3 Ruans and 9 tattooed dragons. At the same time, Jiang Xiyu used his Flying Soul Scattered Spirit Sword, attacking Yuan Jiner alongside the Demon Sword. The pair's flying swords coordinated, greatly easing the burden. The Black Turtle Sea's waves rolled. The earth quaked, and the mountains shook. A range of several li was enveloped in a powerful baleful aura. Water dragons, flying swords, magic weapons and ferocious beasts overturned the heavens and earth. The 3 Ruans, Meng Hudi, River Dragon, Maiden Mountain's most powerful water generals practically were all gathered together. Black Turtle Temple nearly collapsed. Above Black Turtle Temple, several hundred cultivators were rocked back and forth by a force that erupted from the seafloor. Their chests were stifled, as if there was an enormous rock crushing them. More than 100 islands fell apart. A landslide of mud fell, and countless water spouts and water dragons shot into the sky. The cultivators were astonished. They hastily put out every sort of protective ability. Black Turtle Temple seemed to sink. Only Ming Dai and the other supercluster ancestors could still maintain their aloofness. Back on topic, is Senior Ming Dai not guarding Devil Ancestor Dark Underworld of the Devil Star Palace to unexpectedly leave seclusion for this Black Turtle Temple? Could it be that the Devil Star Palace does not have faith in Great Saint Starkiller? The young girl elder of the Illusion and Reality sect wrinkled her brow, suddenly finding that many of the Devil Star Palace's cultivators had yet to enter Black Turtle Temple. This scene was somewhat strange. Her words made the other sect elders realize the truth, and they looked at each other in dismay. Ming Dai played with a black butterfly, heedless. She glanced at her and gently smiled. Only you would revere a star general as a god, too high to reach. The woman shook her head. What is the most important thing to have in the star duels? She asked. Of course it is to obtain overlordship over Maiden Mountain. An ancestor answered. Ming Dai let out a derisive laugh. You truly are stupid. What does allowing a star master become the overlord of Maiden Mountain have anything to do with you? It can expand the sect. The ancestor responded, clearly not that confident. You have ascended Maiden Mountain. What expansion is there to speak of? This. The ancestors have never thought about this. In 1,000 years of Maiden Mountain star duels, they had unwittingly participated, bound together for good or ill. Senior Ming Dai, These words are a mistake. If a sect can produce an overlord, everyone in the entirety of Liangshan would now. How can this sect not expand? Legend says that Maiden Mountain is related to Star World. If our sect's disciple can ascend, then our sect can have a taste of Star World's mystery. The young lady of the Illusion and Reality sect replied. Let alone this point, raising a Star Master was only a slight effort to each of the great sects. These Star Masters were contracted for star duels. How could their star energy cultivation be compared to a normal person's? Just with the current situation, Great Saint Starkiller's supercluster late-stage cultivation was sufficient to make each of the great sect's ancestors envious. Star Masters have been hailed to be able to realize transforming star of annihilation, to detach themselves from this world. Those in Liangshan's millions of years would not wish to comprehend transforming star of annihilation, could be counted with fingers. 4 Devil Star Palace to raise such a character as Great Saint Starkiller. How could Devil Ancestor Dark Underworld not have done so for this purpose? Ming Dai showed slight praise. She wistfully blew on the black butterfly. Well said, but as far as I am concerned, isn't controlling the star duels much more interesting? Everyone was shaken. 9 Tattooed Dragons, we need to finish this quickly. By the time Great Saint Starkiller and Guansheng come, they will not be so easy to handle. Yuan Jiner saw that 9 Tattooed Dragons Shijingluan was unexpectedly even in battle against Demon King of Chaos. She wrinkled her brow, turned her head to look, and she saw that she could no longer hold back. More than 100 flying swords revolved into a sword array under the control of Tai Sui, who stands his ground, falling like rain. The azure sea green duckweed was subsequently flung, becoming a green rainbow that attacks Meng Huti. The full star shook her flag continuously. The puppets were gradually endless. Yuan Jiner was somewhat resentful, but neither could she easily use her trump card. She knew that if Shi Jingluan were to know, she would be an even more troublesome opponent afterwards. Jiang Shiyu's flying swords entangled Yuan Jiner's heavenly swords. She raised an artifact in her hand. With aid from the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, Yuan Jiner's flying swords could not take too great of an advantage. Furthermore, after Shi Jingluan heard Yuan Jiner's words, she put away her carefree attitude and said to Fan Ming, Little sister, it truly is a pity that you do not follow me. Why would you choose a man like this? Fan Ming's eyes were like a fierce demon's. Her demon claws danced, her killing intent becoming threads, relying on the powerful 5-star destined weapon to not fall behind in battle against 9 tattooed dragons. Watch this. Shi Jinglong suddenly smiled. The weapon in her hand became a gorgeous staff with the motif of a coiling yellow dragon. This was one of her 9 dragon arms, Yellow Dragon Staff, which was one of the most powerful. 4 stars glittered, making Fan Ming's expression change. The staff heavily hacked at her. Fan Ming waved her claw to go block. The power of the collision between star weapons gave rise to an explosion. Without thinking, the staff in Shi Jingluan's hand became 9 sections, instantly extending her attack range. Dragon Bite's Tail. Shi Jingluan shouted, using the Emperor Dragon 9-section staff's yellow rank technique. The 9-section staff was like a coiling dragon, looping past Fan Ming's defenses and striking the girl's back. A powerful momentum like layers of giant waves, piled up one after another. Fan Ming spat out blood. Her expression was ashen, but she was not to be outdone as she returned with her own yellow rank. Purgatory Fragmenting Soul Claw. 5 crescendoing wails of death twisted toward Shi Jingluan. The 9 tattooed dragon staff technique returned to defend. 2 powerful forces collided in the water, exploding. The baleful aura was routed, and the staff's power simultaneously vanished into nothingness. Oh, Shi Jingluan's brows rose. She was unruffled as she charged in with great strides, the 9-section staff in her hands heavily swinging. Under her storm-like offensive, Fan Ming felt her entire arm shudder from weakness, her strength ebbing more than she had wanted. Metal clashed, and a murderous air turned dense. The surrounding seawater was continuously drawn apart, whirlpools swirling. Fan Ming was worthy of being an expert in martial arts. Facing Shi Jingluan's constantly changing 9-section staff, she was hindered. However, A 5-star destined weapon being countered by a 2-star was defeat any way it was put. Several hundred moments later, they were evenly matched on the surface, but Fan Ming nevertheless sensed that Shi Jingluan's staff power seemingly had a hole, continuously showing absolutely good cracks. However, the Fan Ming doing her utmost to contend was willing, but her flesh was weak. She was unable to directly attack that gap of victory on the 9-section staff. Minute star 9 tattooed dragons. Shi Jingluan's eyes showed an unperturbed grin, as if she was already certain of victory. Damn it! Fan Ming ground her teeth. Taking advantage of the 9-section staff's return swing, she leapt high and circulated her whole body's star energy. The girl's surroundings were pitch black as an abyss, swallowing even the seawater. Dark rank, no return from evil. A hoarse voice broke free of Fan Ming's supple throat. The 5 demons' infernal devil claws shook out an endless aura of death. That black depth was like a true canopy. It was a pity, though, for Shi Jingluan already anticipated this. Or perhaps it could be said that the 9 tattooed dragons was long waiting for this moment. On her chest, a shield patterned after a dragon bearing its fangs appeared. This shield blocked, stopping this dark rank in its entirety. Earth Dragon Shield? Fan Ming was startled. Her 5 demons' infernal devil claws grabbed. Suddenly a figure flashed. Shi Jingluan appeared next to her, and Fan Ming's devil claws danced. They were about to pierce the target, but how could she have anticipated that Shi Jingluan's 9-section staff would change, becoming an ordinary staff? Fan Ming's attack landed on nothing. Shi Jingluan caught her off guard. She stabbed with the staff in her hand, and a yellow light shot out swift as a hawk. Fan Ming's chest took the heavy blow, and she was knocked flying. Shi Jingluan's star weapon changed again, transforming into a crimson bow. Based on a dragon bending at the waist, a dragon fang acted as the arrow. Shi Jingluan did not pause at all, pulling back on the string and firing an arrow, doing everything in one go. Her movements were natural and flowing, and Fan Ming basically was too late to ponder. A fire dragon boiled the seawater, breaking open Fan Ming's chest. Correct Star Demon King of Chaos eyes widened, and her whole body turned ice cold. The fire dragon sunk in and immediately burned. Fan Ming screamed, her figure suddenly shattering and disappearing without a trace. Yellow rank. Dragon pierces heart. Ming. Holy Lord of Draconic Demons' complexion was wan, staring as Fan Ming was killed by Shi Jingluan into the star nest. Do not be sad. I will send you on your way as well. Shi Jingluan smiled, her figure suddenly vanishing. With correct Star Demon King of Chaos entering the star nest, Holy Lord of Draconic Demons' side became extremely grim. The 3 wands acted together, stirring up havoc. I already can't stand looking at you. Today is your death day. Short-lived second brother Ruan Pinger laughed. Her arms spread open and 2 water dragons shot over. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, it would be better for us to first go steal the good fortune pills. Jiang Shiyu's complexion was wan, already giving up on the dragon snake great good fortune pill. We cannot divide our attention right now. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon knew that if their teamwork collapsed, they could only be killed even faster. But, wait for Great Saint Starkiller. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon said, secretly angry that Great Saint Starkiller had surprisingly yet to arrive. I will also kill that arrogant Starkiller. Ruan Pinger jeered. She waved her hand, and star magic struck Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's body. Just as Ruan Jiner flung out azure sea green duckweed, the green light about twist full star Meng Hudi to death. Suddenly at this moment, a saber light slashed and knocked azure sea green duckweed back. The Meng Hudi that escaped by the skin of her teeth returned to Jiang Shiyu's side. Just as they were about to thank her savior, turning their heads to looks, their expressions stiffened. The sea waters parted, and a cold baleful aura rolled over like clouds. A man naturally walked out of the black chi. Great Saint Starkiller. Great Saint Starkiller, you finally arrived. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was relieved. Great Saint Starkiller curled the corner of his mouth. Gazing at Ruan Pinger, he disdainfully said, Short-lived second brother Ruan Pinger, you wish to kill me? You still do not match up. A Star Master dares speak conceited nonsense. When naturally irascible Ruan Pinger heard Great Saint Starkiller say this, She was unable to restrain her anger. Her claws spread open, about to use her dark rank move. Just at this moment, a black light flew out from behind Great Saint Starkiller. It shot directly at Ruan Pinger. A baleful and boiling power made everyone turn pale with fright. The Ruan Pinger about to use her dark rank was wide open. Ruan Jiner shouted flustered. Pinger, look out! What? Ruan Pinger hastily crossed her claws to block. The chilly ice cold still broke apart her body. There was a sort of indescribable pain, as if Ruan Pinger's soul was being pulled out alive. Ruan Pinger's eyes widened, not daring to believe as she stared at the demon-like woman in front of her. A great blade surrounded in black chi made it very difficult for people to believe its master was brave star Guansheng. Guan Ying's eyes were completely cold. Her blade cut down Ruan Pinger, cutting her along with her ancient dragon alligator into two. Elder sister. Ruan Pinger muttered in disbelief, turning her head back stupefied. She caught sight of second sister and seventh sister madly charging towards her, their faces showing a despair and pain she had never seen before. So it turned out elder sister and little sister also are afraid. A thought flashed through short-lived second brother's mind, and then the world became shattered pieces. Guilt star short-lived second brother Ruan Xiaowu Starfall. Ah! The remaining two Ruan sisters' fury immediately filled the ocean. Sparks flew everywhere in the battle for Black Turtle Idol. Several li away, a woman stared expressionlessly, delaying entry until all sides had been exhausted. Shiyu, are we not going to play with those foul-footers? Boatman Zhang Feiyu turned her head and said. Water illusion fairy Shiyu shook her head. Regardless of whether it was Great Saint Starkiller, they were all enemies. Rather than go help, it was better to sit on the rampart and watch the tigers fight. However, I actually want to slaughter Great Saint Starkiller and Guansheng. Zhang Feiyu's smile was very rippling. Why has Milord not come yet? Could he have met with trouble? Shiyu turned her head back, gazing into the deep sea, showing an expression of worry. Zhang Feiyu clicked her tongue. Ever since that Su Xing appeared, Shiyu already was not the Shiyu she was familiar with. Had she ever seen this girly nervousness? What is there to worry about? There is little sister looking after him. Zhang Feiyu did not accept this. Just as she said this, she snorted. Speak of the devil. A white light pierced through the dark seas, just like a sharp sword ripping through frozen air. A white sea snake of fierce spiritual aura already appeared, and riding on the sea snake's back was a man and two women. It was the man Shiyu kept harping about, Su Xing and Zhang Yuqi and Gong Sun Huang. Milord. Shiyu breathed a sigh of relief. Are you all right? Su Xing lifted his gaze to look at that black turtle idol. He could sense the universally shocking battle from here. Little sister, did you flirt along the way? Why were you so slow? Zhang Feiyu assailed her. Zhang Yuqi stuck out her tongue. And wife. Su Xing looked around and noticed he could not see bright star 10 feet of blue Husanyang's figure. She comes. Zhang Yuqi pointed. Hunyangzi daintily walked over, and Su Xing breathed a sigh of relief. He saw that there were two other people together with Hunyangzi. Ranked 100 number star Little Yuqi Sun Xingyue, and ranked 65th walking star Sky soaring great sage Li Shuangfei. You too, Su Xing had wanted to ask, but when he saw the ice-cold fury contained in the girl's eyes, he immediately understood. Just be careful. Su Xing ordered, saying nothing more. The two girls nodded. Spotting Su Xing, the hatred in their eyes decreased substantially. Have you seen Guansheng? Su Xing asked Shiyu. We just saw her enter Black Turtle Temple. Zhang Feiyu answered. She wrinkled her brow. Why is that Guaning somewhat odd? Her whole body is full of devil qi, somewhat dreadful. Shiyu fears this is because of the Devil Star Palace's 9 nether Devil Star Stone. AI, this is the price of the number 1 Devil Palace. Water illusion fair, Shiyu sighed. Feeling considerably sorry about Guan Ying's fall from grace. Everyone was silent. Guansheng is depraved enough to use a star killer to forge her star weapon. I will definitely kill her. Hunyangzi hatefully said. Anyway it was put, brave star Great Blade Guansheng was the chief of the 5 tigers of Maiden Mountain's 108 sisters. Her martial force was second only to the Jade Qilin, and her warrior spirit received even more of the sisters' respect. In any generation of star duels, Maiden Mountain sisters that had died under Guansheng's blade had never had any complaints. Who could have foreseen? The cruel star duels had finally still made this generation's brave star take desperate risks, to act unscrupulously for the sake of victory. What do we do right now? 9 tattooed dragons and the Devil Star Palace are in battle. My lord, shall we be fishermen who take both the snipe and clam? The water illusion fairy gently said. Just as Su Xing was about to answer, suddenly his pupils shrunk. Another red shooting star fell into Black Turtle Temple. Immediately, a scream of suffering resounded throughout the entire Black Turtle Temple. Su Xing's group looked in shock at each other. Without thinking, they charged towards the Black Turtle idol. Second sister. Looking on helplessly as Ruan Pingner fell to Guan Ying's blade. Even the calm and collected Ruan Jiner nearly lost control. Fortunately, Ruan Meyer regained her senses in time, holding back her elder sister, so as to avoid also being easily slain by Guaning. Great Saint Starkiller clicked his tongue in regret, holding a new level of respect for that expressionless Ruan Meyer. Anger leads to death. That was the best path to victory. He had thought he could rely on the three Ruan's feelings to make the group lose self-control, and then look for an opportunity. Truly, this was a pity. They were so close to being able to attain 5 Devil Stars. Great Saint Starkiller profoundly glanced at Jade Flagpole Meng Hudy. Guaning, you unexpectedly used the soul of a sister to forge a Devil Star. Shi Jingluan's face chilled, gazing at that frost fair blade and showing slight dread. Rather than say that the current Guaning was that unparalleled god of war, it was even more appropriate to call her a blackened god of death. The girl was enveloped in black qi, and her eyes were hideously abstruse, without the slightest bit of feeling. The purple firmament moon-slashing blades devil stars twinkled, illuminating Guan Ying's face with an even more baleful look. Let alone them, the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, and Jiang Shiyu of similar devil sects were scared stiff, their expressions terrified. There is no need to fear. The three of us together can destroy them. Great Saint Starkiller confidently smiled. The indeterminately bewildered pair looked at each other, nodding as they forced smiles. Compared to Shi Jingluan, the current Great Saint Starkiller and Guansheng were abnormally frightening. Guaning, Great Saint Starkiller, today, you and I cannot coexist. Ruan Jiner recovered her calm, blood emerging from where she bit her lips. More than 1,000 flying swords practically filled the space behind her. Ruan Jiner, do not be impulsive. Shi Jingluan shouted. Even 9 tattooed dragons needed to fear the Guaning of a 4-star devil weapon. The current Great Blade was currently ravenous. Even if they charged her, they were incapable of holding out against 3-star masters. Could it be? Shi Jingluan's eyes were conflicted, as if she was hesitating over something. Li Jun Mingkong. Great Saint Starkiller and Guaning are slaughtering us sisters like this. Will you still act as accomplice to a tiger? Shi Jingluan shouted. The two girls hesitated. Li Xiangfei wore a hurt expression. The star duels are also this way. For everything, Xiangfei can only obey young master's orders. Meng Hudy nodded. To use speech to move contracted star general to sympathy simply was idiocy. You killed Minger. Shi Jingluan. Today this holy lord will use all his strength to pay you back. Humph. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon showed an evil grin of hate. Haha, well said. Great Saint Starkiller praised. Will you flee? Great Saint Starkiller provocatively glanced at them. Absolutely disgraceful. Ruan Jiner assumed an attack stance. Suddenly, flame and light rays flew down from the horizon. Su Xing and the Zhang sisters took the stage. Seeing the Reaper-like Guaning, Su Xing shook his head, sighing. Great Saint Starkiller, we are moving out. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon shouted to himself that things were bad. Great Saint Starkiller did not move at all. Following the arrival of Su Xing and the others, the situation at present had changed into a Mexican standoff. However, Guaning killing Ruan Ping'er had attracted hatred, and when Ruan Jiner saw Zhang Yuqi and the others, her previous hostility actually diminished greatly. Shuangfei Xingyue. An odd luster flashed past Shi Jingluan's eyes when she spotted the two girls were with Su Xing, Water Illusion Fairy Shiyu, Zhang Yuqi. How about we all work together to sweep them away? Shi Jingluan said. Shiyu, quickly come back to us. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon said in a low voice. If we work together, we will definitely have our seats for the future 7 Stars Assembly. The 3 Ruans and the 9 Tattooed Dragons are not powerful star generals. You ought to know what that means. The Water Illusion Fairy coldly stared at the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, disdainfully smiling. Fool. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon stared at Su Xing. He suddenly laughed. How about we work together to kill the Purple Thunder monster? What? Everyone was taken aback. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon smiled oddly as he stared at Su Xing. The man beside the Water Illusion Fairy is but the famous Purple Thunder monster. Furthermore, he has many star generals following him. He will inevitably be our greatest enemy in the future star duels. It would be better for us to first seize this chance to get rid of him. Then we will discuss our own grievances, how about it? The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon futilely spun the focus to Su Xing. Su Xing disdainfully sneered. It was possible if it was before, but after Guanyin killed short-lived second brother Ruan Pinger, the other 2 Ruans itched to grind the bones of the great Saint Starkiller, and the others to dust. After a brief moment of confusion, Ruan Jiner was unmoved. Kill Guansheng, then I will relinquish to Dragon Snake Great Good Fortune Pill. Tisk. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon clicked his tongue. Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, Jiang Shiyu, you two cannot drag me down. Great Saint Starkiller indifferently smiled. The 2 nodded. Kill. Great Saint Starkiller spat out one word. Just as the 2 were about to take action, a scene they did not expect occurred. Before Great Saint and Guanyin went to kill Su Xing and the others, they each separately turned to the left and right to attack Holy Lord of Draconic Demon and Jiang Shiyu. Jiang Shiyu was shocked beyond compare. Great Saint Starkiller's heavenly cycle-changing holy sword separately descended. Countless starlights twinkled on Jiang Shiyu's body. Jiang Shiyu completely did not foresee that Great Saint Starkiller would unexpectedly backstab him under this sort of difficult situation. Falling into despair, he was pricked into honeycomb by Great Saint Starkiller's flying swords. He did not expect this. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon also did not expect that Great Saint Starkiller would be so treacherous. Guanying's hands swung down the purple brilliant moon slashing blade in her hands. Young master, careful. River Dragon Li Xiangfei was too late to think. Relying on her powerful abilities in water, she still outmaneuvered Guanying's blade, blocking in front of the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon with her body acting as a shield. The Frostfair blade slashed into her. Longevity Star Li Xiangfei screamed, and was sent into the star nest. The remaining blade chi slammed into Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's body. The power frightfully strong. Fortunately, the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon had the heavenly devil armor that blocked it. Afterwards he escaped far away with the devil smoke shapeshift. Great Saint Starkiller shouted. Guanyin did not stop at all after cutting the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. Her gaze fell on the stupefied Meng Huti. The girl was in a daze, incapable of believing what was happening in front of her. Guanying's black storm instantly arrived in front of her. Meng Huti waved her flag, but her vitality was injured that she basically was unable to resist. In dejection, despair, and pain, she welcomed Guanying's blade and then Starfell. This change was sudden, however it was quick and in the blink of an eye. Great Saint Starkiller had backstabbed, killing Jiang Shiyu and the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's last star general. Great Saint Starkiller. This time, even the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon absolutely wanted to flay his flesh and drain his blood. He has gone mad. Thoroughly mad. Su Xing and the others looked at each in dismay, shocked at this ludicrous move. Great Saint Starkiller howled with laughter, then enjoying the power of a 4th Crimson Star. His cultivation reached supercluster late stages peak in one go, and his entire person was even more insolent, cruel, and insufferably arrogant. This is bad. Shi Jingluan's face paled. 5 devil stars appeared on Guanying's purple brilliant moon slashing blade. These devil stars flowed about indeterminately, beginning to slowly combine. The originally extraordinarily heroic divine weapon currently was thoroughly wicked. The black star of that fifth starfall very quickly became a flowing black essence spirit, embedding alongside the 4 other stars on the Frostfair blade. 5-star destined weapon. 2. Everyone was shocked. The current Guaning was completely enshrouded in black light. Her countenance lost the extraordinary might that Su Xing was once familiar with, leaving only an Azura-like evil. No need for the trouble. Today all of you are dying here? Become my great Saint Starkiller's pedestals to ascending Maiden Mountain. Ha 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 ha. Great Saint Starkiller lost himself in laughter. Great Saint Starkiller, you have gone mad. Do you think you can face them all alone? The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon shouted, warped. Great Saint Starkiller, I want you to pay with your life. Wanginer furiously shouted. 1,000 flying swords whirled, and became 1,000 rainbow lights. The Black Turtle Temple fell into a tremendous battle in a split second. The enormous Black Turtle idol shook following Wanginer's fury, and several dozen pills and dragon snake good fortune pills floated up from the pond, just like starlights. Following Wanginer's attack, Su Xing did not delay. The heaven-tearing swords twisted into a golden rainbow. A golden dragon descended from the heavens, and Purple Mansion Immortal Thunder was immediately snapped out, becoming 100 basin-sized purple lightning lotus flowers that blossomed. Shi Jingluan did not dare be careless, defending her front with the Earth Dragon Shield while holding the 4-star yellow dragon staff in her hand. The Zhang sisters each successively took action. The boatman slashed out a fish dragon flame. Zhang Yuqi flourished a wild bee butterfly wave. Everyone acted, their power extremely vast. Even the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was ashen, believing Great Saint Starkiller and Guaning to be dead without doubt. He looked at those good fortune pills. How could he be willing to return empty-handed? He extended a hand leisurely grabbed from the sky, the demon sword protecting him. Clang. A powerful baleful aura suddenly let out a crisp clang. Great Saint Starkiller naturally came prepared. While allowing Guaning to use the Devil Star to upgrade to 5-star, he was not so stupid as to confront an entire group alone in the face of everyone's joint attack. Today, this Holy Lord shall allow you to witness the power of my 3rd spirit treasure. Great Saint Starkiller did not bat an eyelid. The boundless bell rose as he chanted. The boundless bell quickly enlarged. At the first knell, 1,000 zhang tall flame quickly spun, splitting apart with a cry. Its brilliant appearance flashed, shaking the heavens with an explosion. A powerful forbidden magic fluctuated out from the boundless bell. At the second knell, the storm in the water furiously roared. At the third knell, sand and stone flew, obscuring heaven and earth. At the fourth knell, the sound of thunder clapped heavily. At the boundless bell's 5th knell, the world seemed to fix into place. Wind, thunder, water, and fire naturally rose from primal chaos. As if omnipresent, they directly pounced toward Su Xing and the star generals, like Mount Tai was crumbling. The sun and moon fell, and the surging momentum made the entire Black Turtle idol intensely shudder. With the sound of water, the terrain within 10 li of Black Turtle idol's main hall became a formation with a range of 3 zhang. This array's center had wind, thunder, water, and fire, pervaded with black qi. Everyone completely faded away. This is the prehistoric killing array. Wind, thunder, water, fire boundless array. Su Xing gazed at his surroundings, other people already vanishing from his line of sight. Since ancient times, prehistoric spirit treasures all had wonderful uses. Su Xing's 5 dragons lantern was like this, as was Great Saint Starkiller's boundless bell. When this array emerged, Su Xing immediately found he was unable to leave. He heard the light chime of knells within the array, pressing him to death. Dear husband. Hunyangzi withdrew to Su Xing's vicinity without delay. The pair had the contract connection of their star crests. Arrays were incapable of separating them, but the others were not so fortunate. No wonder he was so brazen. It turned out he was secure in the knowledge he had backing with this boundless bell. This treasure forced everyone apart, and coordination naturally could not be mentioned. Su Xing immediately surmised that Great Saint Starkiller and Guaning were preparing to each break open, and seized this chance to kill all of the Star Masters and Star Generals in Black Turtle Temple. A 5-star destined weapon Brave Star. Put bluntly, if gods blocked the path, she would kill the god. If Buddha blocked the path, she would kill the Buddha. If you have the skill, survive and come act together. Great Saint Starkiller disdainfully howled with laughter, the sharp assertion in his eyes. The Wind Thunder Water Fire Boundless Array was a primal chaos array. The array had a gale, thunderclap, pouring water, flames and black chi pervading the center that obscured everything. The boundless bell in the array rang, and those wind, thunder, water and fire became even more powerful. Su Xing noticed that he was surprisingly unable to break free of this space, completely losing direction. There was no way to avoid saying Great Saint Starkiller's skill was played very beautifully. With Guan Ying's 9 Nether Devil Star Stone used to forge her 5-star destined weapon, added on to the corresponding allure of the Dragon Snake Great Good Fortune Pill, they would break them one by one using the prehistoric killing array trap created by the Boundless Bell. Great Saint Starkiller's plan was nearly invincible. The Black Turtle Territory's #1 Star Master was absolutely not angling for fame. But however precisely Great Saint Starkiller calculated, reality was far from being as smooth as a calculation. Little Huang, break the array, Su Xing softly said. Gongsun Huang nodded, using star magic without any hesitation, and the Pine Brand Ancient Sword activated a spell. In the sea, although many of Gongsun Huang's star magics were restricted, her dark rank star magic half-destroyed landscape was without issue at all. A rampart demolishing power filled and poured out of the Pine Brand Ancient Sword. The ground and mountains shook, the sky and earth crumbled, the seas dried and the stones softened, splitting the world. Apparently, all descriptions for power and destruction became poor adjectives. Even the cultivators on the sea above Black Turtle Temple were rocked about. The supervoid middle stage Ming Dai sensed even more clearly an unbelievable pressure. What is the meaning of this? The waters within a range of 100 li jolted, islands sunk, and weaker cultivators fell down during this powerful quaking. Half-destroyed landscape. Half-destroyed landscape. Half-destroyed landscape. Gongsun Huang's eyes were like boulders, her hands like butterflies nimbly dancing, consecutively using her dark rank 3 times. Gongsun Huang's original limit was twice, but after drinking by Yutong's seemingly drunk and stupefied, she could use 3 in succession without breaking a sweat. Half-destroyed landscape's powerful pressure bore down, and the prehistoric killing formation Wind Thunder Water Fire Boundless Bell array's knells quickly eased. The power that half-destroyed landscape raised destroyed its foundation, for it was particularly effective in confronting magic circles. Originally, it had even broken through Emperor Liang's confinement. However, the Boundless Bell's enveloping prehistoric killing array was indeed formidable, for Gongsun Huang had to use it 3 times in succession. Countless counterattacks practically were like waves washing away sand. Wave followed wave, never stopping, without gaps. Booming apart, a mountain-sized power squeezed over. Even Su Xing felt that his body was very uncomfortable. After a rumbling crash, there was the enormous sound of heaven and earth collapsing. The Boundless Bell's final knell abruptly quickly drew longer, sharp, then faded. Black Turtle Temple's terrain appeared, however it had already become a heap of rubble. In the center was a particularly large black turtle idol that was even more devastated. The forbid dance had been broken, and good fortune pills lay strewn across the ocean. Shi Jingluan and the others were shocked. How is this possible? Great Saint Starkiller watched the boundless bell in his hand that was void of spiritual power change color. Lifting his head to look at Su Xing, his gloominess seemed to want to eat him alive. Little Huang, go in and rest a bit. Su Xing tenderly caressed her. Gongsun Huang nodded, entering the star nest. Great Saint Starkiller, thinking yourself clever is to dig your own grave. Su Xing's right hand spread open. 20 immemorial flying swords flew around his body, golden light and green rainbows intersecting and glowing. The Langia, you really are the purple thunder monster. Great Saint Starkiller recognized these extremely hated flying swords. Make your move. Su Xing shouted. In the Wind Thunder Water Fire array, Guaning originally wanted to first kill Li Shuangfei and Sun Xinyue for use in upgrading her star weapon, but the pair's coordination was very tacit, moon gazing one side and fingers linked to heart not holding back at all, simply blocking the great blade Guansheng of a 5-star divine weapon. However, the pair were already arrows at the end of their path. Just as they were a few seconds from giving out. Just at this critical moment, the power of 3 consecutive half-destroyed landscapes inhibiting Guan Ying's attack. The boundless array's damage left the pair of girls with even more precious time. Hearing Su Xing's words at this moment, they knew tacitly what to do. Dark ranks were used again. Guaning returned to her senses in a 10,000th of a second. The 5-star purple brilliant moon slashing was about to kill the pair, but 2 earthly star dark ranks still made Guaning hesitate. Seeing the other star generals about to kill Starkiller, Guaning turned back to protect her master, refraining from shooting the rat to avoid hitting the vases. Guan Sheng Dai. Without the fetters of the magic circle, the Ruan sisters, Shi Jingluan and the Zhang sisters attacked together. Each of the girls' attacks were ruthless, full of coldness. Facing the joint assault of 5 heavenly stars, Guan Ying's shoulders grimly sunk, letting out a scream of either extreme pain or something else as she slashed with her great blade. Su Xing did not hesitate at all to urge forth his sword chant. The heaven-tearing metal swords trembled, becoming golden rainbows that shot downwards. Their lengths approached Zhang, and they were glaring to the eyes. The flying sword's speed was fast, appearing to be like a lightning flash, arriving beside Great Saint Starkiller within an instant, breaking through space. The golden rainbow strangely wound around him, and Great Saint Starkiller's flying swords counterattacked. Shiyu also controlled her Heavenly Paradise Water Moon map-marked flying swords, 2 to help. Although Great Saint Starkiller's Heavenly Cycle-changing holy swords could spread a profound Heavenly Cycle sword array, with 2 people pressuring him, each of their flying swords interlocking, his fight was very entangling. Purple Thunder Monster, it is perfect that you came. Great Saint Starkiller's cultivation had reached supercluster peak. He was insufferably arrogant and confident. He squeezed together a hand seal, pervading his whole with black qi. His sleeves hastily shook, and he opened his mouth at the same time. A green shield made of bamboo and a white pearl emerged from his body. The 2 treasures' light was luminous, its might astonishing. With just one look, they absolutely were not trifling treasures. When they were released, green and white light covered and protected Great Saint Starkiller within. Yet Great Saint Starkiller was not done. Suddenly taking a deep breath, he opened his mouth and spouted countless clumps of black qi. This black qi scattered and wandered everywhere, becoming a black fog that wrapped his body. Becoming a black, crystalline armor. This battle armor was abnormally exquisite, its surface gleaming with indeterminately flowing lightning, as if it was an item not of this world. Ever since he had lost to Su Xing's 10,000-year evil-suppressing gem bamboo, Great Saint Starkiller schemed of a way to restrain Su Xing. Fortunately, Great Saint Starkiller's flying swords were not devil swords. Yet the transforming star of annihilation cultivation method he practiced was unquestionably restrained. Contrarily, it was the 8 Desolation's heavenly devil body that he had mostly thought grand that became a soft underbelly. For this reason, Great Saint Starkiller collected many defensive magic weapons. Green bamboo shield, 3 heart-protecting treasure jade, and ink crystal armor. 5 were born for this. Controlling 3 types of defensive magic weapons was an extremely tough trial on Great Saint Starkiller's divine intent. Simply with the heavenly cycle-changing holy swords present, he believed this was enough to face Su Xing. You think that you're safe hiding inside a tortoise shell? Su Xing sneered. Ha! Great Saint Starkiller was taken aback. Suddenly, Su Xing struck a hand seal and waved his hand. A large swathe of purple lotus flowers shot forth. These purple thunder lotus flowers became hundreds upon thousands, a multitude that hovered in Great Saint Starkiller's surroundings. This Great Saint had even thought you had some killer move. Do you think this type of purple thunder can face me? Great Saint Starkiller laughed out loud. It was indeed very difficult for Purple Mansion Immortal Thunder to break 3 layers of defensive magic weapons. The crucial point was that 5-star Guaning who swept everything before her. For every second more she remained in this place, she became that much more dangerous. The star generals present hung on Su Xing's mind. For this reason he did not spare any energy to quickly dispatch Guan Ying's Star Master Great Saint Starkiller, and then worry about her. Su Xing formed a hand seal and opened his mouth. Purple thunder wrapping heaven. 6. Su Xing used a Purple Mansion Immortal Thunder ability. The 1,000 purple lotus flowers suddenly exploded, and arcs of purple lightning hopped over. Under Su Xing's direction, they seemingly came to life as they interwove into a web, encircling and binding, making Great Saint Starkiller just like a fly caught in a spider's web. She nodded, gesturing at the same time. World of Exceptional Beauty Sword Array. 7. The 52 flying swords transformed into white rainbows, stacking in layers, forming another sword array to trap him. Great Saint Starkiller was indeterminately astounded. Su Xing sneered, and only then did he use his killing move. A giant green mountain suddenly expanded several hundred times in size, turning into a chain of peaks. Green flames burned on those mountains, and green lotuses soared, pressing down towards Great Saint Starkiller from above. The powerful prehistoric spirit treasure directly squashed past Great Saint Starkiller's green bamboo shield and other defensive magic weapons. The trapped Great Saint Starkiller had nowhere to run. 8. He had fallen into their trap. The color drained from Great Saint Starkiller's face. Guansheng Dai. Hunyangzi's hands held golden wind and morning dew, full of hostility, her dance steps and double sabers simultaneously in use. The Guaning of the Devil's Star raised the shocking great blade, her expression terrifyingly black. The lone person's 5-star destined weapon blocked Hunyangzi, Shijingluan, the 2 Ruans and the Zhang sisters, as well as Li Shuangfei and Sun Xinyue, 8-star generals altogether. However, although there were 8, the fact was that there were only 3 of them that could actually contend against her in a direct confrontation. The 4-star Shijingluan, Wang Jiner, and Hunyangzi. The other girls wanted to kill Great Saint Starkiller. They had no choice against Guan Ying's 5-star destined weapon, that was honestly tyrannical. Not only was the baleful aura soaring, it made them incapable of breaking free. The double sabers were blocked. Guaning let out a sinister shout. Her steps spun, and the great blade drew a shocking trajectory. The might of 5 stars made her aggression able to shake apart mountains and rivers. The surrounding attacking star generals fell into disarray, having been slashed back. Each one of their bodies already were injured by blade chi. So strong. Zhang Yuqi drew in a breath. She is the 5-star Guansheng. You all do not confront her directly. It will be enough to distract and interfere. Stall Guaning, wait for Shi Yu and him to kill Great Saint Starkiller, and then we will worry about her. Shijingluan's tone sunk. The 8-star generals had no choice facing the head of the 5 tigers. But someone had different thoughts. Today, you will be a corpse cut into 10,000 pieces. Wang Jiner pointed, and 1,000 flying swords suddenly descended. More than 1,000 swordlights practically left her with no place to hide. Guaning was emotionless, her great blade slashing horizontally. The vigorous blade chi instantly shattered the 1,000 flying swords. But Wang Jiner's true killing move came at this moment. Wang Jiner gripped the Azure Sea's green duckweed and twisted, using her dark rank curtain flower canopy shadow reversed. The seas bubbled forth countless green duckweed, seemingly illusory, flocking over. Guaning waved her blade, one slash breaking the attacking green rainbow. There was a gap. The other bright star 10 feet of blue that similarly had revenge deep as the sea closely followed behind. The girl's face was covered in frost. Her dance steps were complex, golden wind and morning dew turning into a golden rainbow and green light. 2 arcs of gorgeous light flew out, making a beeline for Guanying's front. Flying star magpie dance. Bang. Guaning could not resist, taking several steps back continuously. That black armor on her body split with 2 wounds. Blood diluted in the water. Golden wind and morning dew did not stop, and Hunyangzi once again used her dark rank. Azure Dragon Slash. The purple brilliant moon slashing blade let out an azure dragon of murderous aura, easily twisting apart the green duckweed and pouncing directly towards Hunyangzi. Bang. The seawater and stones disintegrated. Hunyangzi's dark rank was broken. The person herself sustained the heavy blow and was sent flying. Guaning raised the blade wishing to finish things off in one step, when the Zhang sisters already blocked in front of her with perfect coordination. One used fire and water, and the other used star magic. Ugh. Hunyangzi painfully groaned. Her whole body seemed to be beaten black and blue, and she nearly could not stand firm. A water light at this moment lingered on her wounds, and the pain oddly abated. Impulsiveness will make you lose your life. Wan Mei used her water healing innate skill, calmly speaking. Hunyangzi grunted in affirmation. Dragon snake great good fortune pill. Just at this moment, an astonished shouted came from inside Black Turtle Temple. In that pile of rubble, amid the countless pieces of debris, beneath the Black Turtle idol burned a raging blue flame. This flame was like frost, a chill that was bone deep, but the eye-catching thing was that the blue fire contained a four-sided seal. On the seal, there was a majestic black turtle, glowing with a serene spirit light. Its immemorial spiritual aura was pressing. Surprisingly, it was a prehistoric lost treasure, Black Turtle Seal. On the dragon snake's back was a green pill. It emitted a thick green light, and compared to the other good fortune pills, this pill had two surging dragon snake images, dense all over. Dragon snake great good fortune pill. Gong Sun Huang's powerful triple dark rank had not only destroyed the boundless array. Even the Black Turtle idol was uprooted. The great good fortune pill hidden in the forbid dance were then revealed. Each of the people currently in battle changed. A black shadow darted for the great good fortune pill. It was none other than the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. It is finally this one's turn to be fortunate. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon laughed aloud. Originally, he had planned to run when Great Saint Starkiller used the Boundless Array. How could anyone have foreseen the destruction of the Boundless Array would make the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon hesitate? At this moment, Su Xing and the others already began switching their attacks to Great Saint Starkiller and Guansheng. No one had the leisure to mind the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. This one shall take the Dragon Snake Great Good Fortune Pill. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's sleeve shook, and a magic weapon flew out and absorbed the Great Good Fortune Pill. The blue flame suddenly became large, burning the magic weapon into ashes. And after burning the magic weapon completely away, it bared its fangs to pounce on the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's expression changed, cursing under his breath. Without a Star General, even if the Great Good Fortune Pill was before his eyes, he could not obtain it. He promptly retreated. Suddenly at this moment, a shrill sound pressed near. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon cast a sideways glance, only to spot a brown tiger flying over. The tiger's fangs were bared, emitting a yellow light. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon waved his hand, and the 9 phantasms 10 Bane's capital demon sword covered it, encircling and twisting into that tiger that was upon him. This star beast struggled for a moment before being destroyed by the demon's sword. The sword shadow retreated, yet a pink-clothed and voluptuous woman appeared. Her eyes were incomparably hateful, her forehead flickering with a star crest as she slightly parted her red lips. Oh no! The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's heart chilled. Female tiger Gu Tong opened her mouth, and a thick sound wave screamed out of her glossy lips. A demonic noise pierced his brain, shaking the Black Turtle Hall into rolling with waves. Dark rank. Lioness from Hudong roars. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was caught off guard. Blood rolled inside his chest, extremely unbearable. The 9 phantasms 10 Bane's capital demon sword were seemingly suppressed under the sound waves, crying out. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon only felt a splitting headache, his appearance fierce. Hey! He felt a chill at his back, and an axe light ripped open a wound deep enough to show bone. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon turned his head back, where Zoku appeared at the same time holding her Fong of Broken Skies. The Horn Star clutched her hatchet, using her dark technique Roaring Fong of Heavenly Dragon. The axe wind was endless, like 1,000 dragon fangs pouncing over each other towards the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. The Heavenly Demon battle armor's black light radiated, yet the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was still left battered and bruised. Hey! The girl furiously yelled as she raised her axe above her head, immediately slashing down. I'll die. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon turned pale. He gazed indignantly at the Great Good Fortune Pill so close in front of him. Damn it, damn it, damn it. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demon in the end used the jade pendant. His figure immediately disappeared from under the axe. Not killing the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon made Gu Tong sigh. She made eye contact with Zoku, and the two aimed to begin breaking the blue fire of the Great Good Fortune pill. Furthermore, under the heavy pressure of Su Xing's Green Lotus Peak, Great Saint Starkiller's three-layered defense could not last a second before disintegrating. Great Saint Starkiller grit his teeth, and just so happened to catch sight of the Great Good Fortune pill. Reacting instantly, he snapped his fingers, and the heavenly cycle-changing holy swords twisted with all their might, breaking the purple mansion Immortal Thunder and the sword array. Then he used a transforming star escape technique. His body was like a shooting star, arriving with a flash. Where do you think you're running off to? Langya's green rainbow stabbed, and the evil-suppressing clear light pursued Great Saint Starkiller's devil chi without stop, sealing him with a net of swords. Damn it. Great Saint Starkiller immediately raised several talismans. The talismans became several silver birds to break this sword net. Heaven tearing merged. Great Saint Starkiller's sleeve shook again, and he directly used his magic energy to repel the flying sword. However, this was no more than an appetizer. Su Xing arrived in front of him, the green rainbow penetrating. Run through by a sword, Great Saint Starkiller malevolently swung his fist. Su Xing's body was light as smoke, leisurely repositioning and evading. Great Saint Starkiller rushed out, raising a magic weapon. A black blade slashed horizontally towards Su Xing's waist. Clang! Su Xing blocked this magic weapon by a hair's breadth. He knew that this was merely the prelude to Great Saint Starkiller's attack. Just when Great Saint Starkiller was turning around, he slashed once more with his flying swords. Su Xing used extreme force to position himself and quickly slash under Great Saint Starkiller. A golden rainbow fell, sprinkling along the blade's edge. Really, damn it. Great Saint Starkiller fell back without a choice. Yet upon seeing the golden rainbow twist around the seawater, it suddenly exploded. Countless water swords rocketed towards the Great Saint Starkiller who was in midair, ruthlessly slamming into his somewhat frail body. This was no ordinary water pillar, rather, it was a power of Shiyu's that turned water into swords. Not good. Great Saint Starkiller lost his balance, falling over backwards. Just when he was about to fly to the black turtle seal, Su Xing's attack came even faster. Like a twister, heaven tearing threaded over his whole body. Splashes of water immediately were stained blood red. 8 desolate heavenly demon body. Great Saint Starkiller was without a choice, activating his devil cultivation art. Devil chi rolled, his figure enlarged, and an enormous power shook Su Xing loose. Go! Langya rushed like ducks. The flying swords cried, green clouds rolling over and enveloping Great Saint Starkiller. His whole body's devil chi rapidly warped. Great Saint Starkiller swallowed his pride, unexpectedly disregarding everything to charge at the Great Good Fortune pill. Gu Tong and Zoku turned around, facing the approaching Great Saint Starkiller with indifference. Great Saint Starkiller spat out essence blood. In his hand appeared full Star Meng Hudi's Eastern Sea crystalline blue flag. And then the Cold Night Desolate Kill bottle also appeared. Great Saint Starkiller. Gu Tong's lips tightly closed. The banner waved. Poison wine poured out. Gu Tong opened her mouth, suddenly screaming an incantation that penetrated 100 li. A powerful sound wave directly attacked his forehead. The Great Saint Starkiller was unprepared and caught the brunt of the attack, his 5 facial orifices leaking blood. Dark rank. Tathagata's proper sound. Great Saint Starkiller, where are you running to? Su Xing pointed his hand. Blue light enveloped him. The water-parting dragon-binding damask covered him from above. Great Saint Starkiller's expression changed. Su Xing controlled his flying swords. Langya's green light immediately fell like a galaxy, directly pouncing on Great Saint Starkiller. Purple Thunder Monster. Great Saint Starkiller yelled in suffering, each word full of extreme hatred. The 8 Desolates' heavenly demon body's valiant defenses could withstand the stabs of the flying swords, but it could not block the evil-suppressing clear light of the 10,000-year evil-suppressing gem bamboo. The flesh of his whole body split open in sores, black chi washing everything. Great Saint Starkiller's scream of pain drew Guan Ying's attention. Brave Star Guaning wanted to protect him, but how could Shi Jingluan and the others give her the chance? 9 tattooed dragons' staff directly swept. Guanyin caught the staff's end with one hand, swinging her great blade with her right hand. Shi Jinglun hastily evaded, the dense blade qi merely grazing her. That terrifying rancor made the minute star endlessly painful. Careful, do not be cut by this 5-star devil weapon. Shi Jinglun shook in fear. Sparks scattered, and Guanyin blew by with a gust of wind. The other sisters promptly went to block. But with this strike, the unmatched star energy of Guanying's great blade shook away the girls like rice straws, toppling them over into a mess. They completely were incapable of contesting her. Shi Jinglun's guts twisted, and she heavily threw up a turbid qi. She comes again. Guanyin dragged the purple brilliant moon-slashing blade before swinging it back. The blade light broke open a path for the kill. She made a beeline for Su Xing, the 5-star might of the purple brilliant moon-slashing blade, held behind her madly swelling. The seawater to the sides were carved apart by the blade's bitter trail, twisting it apart. Shi Jinglun switched to the crimson dragon bow, firing a dragon pierce's heart. Guanyin did not even look back, shattering the arrow with one blow. Sword array. Shiyu hastily used her sword array. A dazzling green thunder plunged forth. The sword array was devastated. "My lord, quickly get away." Shiyu shouted in fear. Against the 5-star Guansheng, a star master basically was not an opponent. Su Xing surreptitiously seized the 5 dragons' lantern and 4 symbols seal, unsure. Seeing that he had used Langia to successfully trap Great Saint Starkiller, this was the absolute perfect opportunity to kill him. How could Su Xing give up? Guanyin! Gutong and Zoka stepped forward to intercept Guanyin, but they were sent flying by the Azure Dragon Blade Qi before they even got close. Too late. Shi Jinglun had an ill feeling of foreboding. Says who? A jeer sounded out. White stripe in the waves. Zhang Yuqi gently smiled. Guanyin, are you in this much of a rush to give Yangsu a blowjob? It's not your turn yet. The damaged star wielded the white water mirror heart, its 4 flowing stars combining into a single point. A vortex appeared on the ring, and this vortex became increasingly large. A powerful river flooded into the temple. All rivers reach seas. Zhang Yuqi interrupted. With white water mirror heart as the focal point, the entire area of seawater rolled and was sucked into the temple. Even Guanyin found it difficult to resist the powerful suction force, and she was pulled firmly backwards by the violently rushing ocean waves. Sisters, a dark rank service. Shi Jinglun smiled. Without needing her to say anything more, the others already had waited a long time for this. Yellow Dragon worships heaven. As Minute Star 9 tattooed dragons, Shi Jinglun's 4-star Yellow Dragon staff become a yellow dragon that coiled around Guanyin. Curtain flower canopy shadow reversed. Wind blew across the ground. Sword Star Ruanji Nurse Azure Sea's green duckweed glowed, mustering all of her strength to use her dark technique a second time. Similarly, using Guanyin as the center, a green rainbow rolled forth, spinning rapidly to kill. The star beast Blue Wave's underworld quail of Taisui, who stands his ground, also raised a sword and shield as it sliced. Fire Tree Silverflower. Zhang Feiyu's blade swung about, spraying sparks everywhere. Silver flowers blossomed in the sea, using all their power to suppress Guanying's movements. Flying Star Magpie Dance. Hu Nianji closed in like smoke, her golden wind and morning dew like lightning breaking the clouds. Also there was living King Yama Ruan Mayer's Azure Dragon breaking eastern wind. This was the rare sight of 6-star general dark techniques simultaneously being used. Everything was used merely for Guanyin, and there was the imposing feeling of a life or death struggle. If it was any other star general, then she would have inevitably fled at once, but as far as Brave Star Great Blade Guansheng was concerned, for words, this was just perfect. Guanyin paid this no attention. The devil qi all over her whole body broke out from her back, armor and rushed out in full. Her gaze was very pitiless. Both of her hands gripped her blade, suddenly contending directly against them. The Su Xing, currently using all of his power to propel Langia into killing Great Saint Starkiller, suddenly saw that the star crest on Great Saint Starkiller's forehead was glimmering. Great Saint Starkiller sneered. "This is bad, it is resonance." Shiyu was stunned. A powerful feeling of danger swam over their whole bodies. "Kill him." Su Xing did not hesitate at all to urge a sword array. The green rainbow fell and consumed the last bit of devil chi. Inger, kill them all, ha 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 ha. Great Saint Star Killer let loose a mad laugh. Using the jade pendant, he escaped from the Black Turtle Temple. An intimidating aura exploded behind Su Xing. An enormous baleful aura swept through the entire Black Turtle Temple. Its unstoppable, all-powerful, unblockable power was above all star generals, above all dark techniques. Everyone was stupefied, with no exception. Brave Star Great Blade Guansheng's 5-star dark technique. Total Annihilation. Innate skill unrivaled. The tyrannical air of total annihilation. Guaning, her name became that of a god of war. Each slash was fully matchless, and the Guaning still entering the 8th stage of the matchless realm erupted at this moment. The Black Turtle Hall's seawater evaporated, converted into a sudden downpour by the Great Blade. The boatman's flames, Shi Jingluan's staff, Zhang Yuqi's all rivers reach seas, Wan Jiner's green duckweed kill. Everything became 2 words, paper shreds. Guan Ying's total annihilation exploded using her absolutely overwhelming power. The instant she slashed, even if there were 1,000 soldiers in front of her, there would only be one. Using her absolutely unrivaled power, her matchless spirit sweeping through. This was Guansheng's total annihilation. The dark technique of the Brave Star, head of the 5 Tiger Generals. Under 5-star state, total annihilation was even more insufferably arrogant. Guaning at this moment had innumerable phantoms, each charging at all of the star generals. In spite of so many sisters using so many dark techniques, all of the star generals present were not at the peak of martial force. Even the strongest minute Star 9 tattooed dragon's Shi Jingluan was just a bit lacking. When the dark technique of the 5 tigers head emerged, it was unstoppable. Before the blade light scattered, a blood light condensed. Shi Jingluan's yellow dragon was cut in 2. Great blade directly slashed 9 tattooed dragon's chest. No matter what, Shi Jingluan was undoubtedly dead. The blue wave's underworld quail came in front of her to block the blade, to innocently use its body as a shield. This sea ape was split in 2, yet it greatly alleviated the surplus might of the great blade. 9 tattooed dragons stumbled and raised an earthly fiend astral treasure. Only then did she escape this calamity, only to actually still be sent flying by a slash. The strongest Shi Jingluan was like this, not to mention the others. Wan Jiner's green duckweed shattered before Guansheng's tyrannical chi. The blade chi shot out, directly breaking upon the sword star who coughed up blood. If it was not for the slight distance she and Ruan Meyer had with Guaning, if she was at close range, they would have fell over dead. The boatmen Zhang Feiyu and Hunyangzi that were almost within reach were swept by the blade. Their clothes were disintegrated by the blade chi, leaving them completely naked. Hunyangzi faced but was incapable of withstanding the blade light. In despair, she glanced at Su Xing. Yet she found that the latter was not in her line of sight. Blood flashed. Su Xing used the chaotic tail escape, hugging Hunyangzi against his chest, his flying swords turning into a shield to block everything. Hunyangzi's eyes that were tranquil as a lake showed shock. She had never thought that Su Xing would rescue her, and she was very conflicted. Guan Ying's silhouette dispersed. Not good. Su Xing lifted his head. The Devil Star Purple Brilliant Moon slashing blade slashed towards Zhang Feiyu. Fire Tree Silver Flower disappeared, and seeing Zhang Feiyu about to be wiped out, elder sister. Zhang Yuqi instinctively called out. White stripe in the waves even more quickly swam before her. She opened her palm, and the white water mirror heart's white light radiated. A barrier blocked the great blade's edge. Within a breath, the barrier shattered. Zhang Yuqi's face lost its color. The purple brilliant moon slashing blade cut into Zhang Yuqi's body. The devil star on the weapon chewed on the young girl, and her eyes widened. Little sister. Zhang Feiyu cried out in grief. Just at this moment, a ray of bloodlight quickly appeared in front of Zhang Yuqi, and snatched her away from under the great blade. Su Xing once again used the chaotic tail escape to save Zhang Yuqi at the critical moment. The hungry great blade was unwilling to relent. About to chop squarely through them, Su Xing used the Akala Wisdom King Vajrabhati technique, bloomed the meditative mind lotus flower, and manifested golden lotus flowers in the sea. The great blade fell, and the lotus flowers withered one after another. Su Xing was struck in the abdomen by the blade. Fortunately, the Akala Wisdom King Vajrabhati technique reinforced his physical body. The meditative mind lotus flower once again turned big, and this slash was stopped by Buddhist light. It entered only half an inch, but even so the murderous air still made Su Xing suffer unbearably. Vajra evil smiting palm. Su Xing thrust out his palm. A giant Vajra Buddhist palm slapped Guan Ying's body, finally blocking this slash. However, Guan Ying's total annihilation was far from finished. Gu Tong, Zhou Ku, Sun Xinyue and Li Shuangfei were caught in it. The four girls' dark techniques were broken, but they did not change expressions. A yellow earth book gradually opened, manifesting yellow light and earth chi, forming a barrier. The already terminating total annihilation merely struck several cracks into the earth book's defense, finally fizzling out. Though the event was long-winded, the total annihilation slash's speed was no more than the blink of an eye. In an instant, Guaning had broken all of the dark techniques and counterattacked. Still, in an instant, the Zhang Yuqi, Hunyangzi, Gu Tong and others that should have inevitably died under the Great Blade were instead saved by Su Xing using pain that exceeded the normal person's imagination, and powers that totally averted disaster. Even Shi Jingluan and Ruan Jiner felt disbelief. Her imposing aura faded. Guaning stood in the main hall. In her surroundings, already not an inch of undisturbed earth could be found. Su Xing looked at Zhang Yuqi, whose eyes had lost focus. He hastily fed her a pill, using medical arts to heal her wounds. Living King Yama also rushed over urgently to help use her water healing. Thanks. Su Xing expressed his gratitude to Ruan Meier. Ruan Meier's expression was indefinitely bewildered. She nodded her head, not saying anything. Little sister. Zhang Feiyu held Zhang Yuqi. Seeing her little sister had lost the color in her face, the corners of her eyes grew moist. She wanted to utter a few curses that would have been censored, yet the words became choked up in her throat. She was without her violence, acting only with the concern of an elder sister. The storm-like aggression disappeared. The Black Turtle Hall was calm without a noise, with only the sound of gently running water. Su Xing covered Hunyangzi's voluptuous body with a cloak. Dear husband, why did you save Nyangzi? Hunyangzi bit her lip. She stared painfully at his wound. Even if you have something like the star nest, I still loathe this word, death. Su Xing smiled as he held back Hunyangzi. Hunyangzi's heart heaved a long sigh. Slightly shaking his head, Su Xing stared at Guaning. At this time, Guan Ying's familiar dignified smile was practically obscured. The black qi was pervasive, leaving only an endless darkness. Inside, there seemed to be hidden a pain, and outside was incapable of touching even the blue flames on the black turtle seal beside Guaning had been broken down by the brave star's intimidating aura. Shit. Su Xing's heart jumped. Total annihilation had not only swept away all of the star generals, it had even brought Guaning even closer to the dragon snake great good fortune pill. The brave star practically only needed to reach out to touch it. Under the dark technique, all of the star generals were practically wounded. Of course, under 5 Tiger Generals Chief Guan Ying's 5-star destined weapon. This sort of situation already counted as the fortune within a disaster. And to use a Star Master status to contend against Guan Ying, Su Xing did not even need to think. However more confident he could be, he knew he would merely be attempting the impossible. Now the sole things that could face Guan Ying were only the 5 Dragons Lantern and the 4 Symbols Seal. Su Xing originally planned to use these as trump cards to face Maiden Mountain's trials, so his heart wavered uncertainly. Why would you do such a thing? Guaning finally spoke, her voice very soft yet very clear. What did you say? Su Xing rapidly brainstormed. Seeing Guaning not move, this was perfect for giving the other star generals time to recover their strength. Between you and these star generals, there is no cause, no reason. In the future, they will be your obstacles. Why would you want to save them? Guaning lifted her gaze, her black eyes abstruse. Obstacles? Is this how you would describe your sisters? Su Xing laughed in mockery. Guaning was silent. I wonder, when you originally wielded your weapon, Guaning, did you ever sense the devil star on your blade? Su Xing was serious. Just allow this general to experience if your righteousness is weakness or strength. Her voice was drawn out, not caring in the slightest about the great good fortune pill that was in her reach. Guaning lifted her weapon, galloped like a stallion and disappeared from Su Xing's eyes. Then she reappeared, and her great blade was falling towards Su Xing's cranium. But along the way, this was stopped by a red rope. Allow Nyangzi to keep you company. A red rope was in Hu Nyangzi's hand, wrapping around Guaning, and her eyes burned with a scorching flame among the ocean waves. These feelings are endless. Lasso liked it. Palace of Empress Wa's last day, top floor. Zhao Hanyan. What appeared before her was quite a magnificent scene. 100 zhang-sized mural was the sole imagery on the last floor. This fresco depicted a scroll that could not be described with words. Countless reliefs vividly stood out, emitting a beautiful light. Among them, the relief of Empress Wa was even more moving. Her face wore compassion and mercy, her countenance full of grief. Dark blue streams flowed from her eyes like tears. The tears of Empress Wa. The air manifested a rare speechlessness. Zhao Hanyan scanned the surroundings. She turned completely contemplative upon discovering the scene. The Star Masters and Star Generals of each of the Azure Dragon territories' great sects were present everywhere. Yan Wudao, Xie Zhenyuan, Zhao Heng, Li Xianyan, and even a few Star Masters from sects she had never seen nor heard. Looking closely, there were nearly more than a dozen Star Masters here. With regards to this mere prelude to the Star Duels, this number of people was honestly many. Shall we go snatch the tears of Empress Wa right now? Princess. Dong Junqing hefted the Dragon Phoenix Yin-Yang spears, eager to go. There is no rush. The best is still for last. Zhao Hanyan gently smiled. All the Star Masters and Star Generals stared at each other. Laughing awkwardly, no one made the first move. A rare deathly stillness appeared in the palace of Empress Wa. Whoosh! A figure suddenly shot over. Finally, someone could not remain patient. It was not just anyone, astonishingly. It was Yan Wudao of Lifeless Hall. Yan Wudao's hand flipped out a black porcelain bottle to take the tear of Empress Wa. Yan Wudao's action broke the final crisp silence in the hall. A storm erupted. Besides Zhao Hanyan and a few others, the other Star Masters and Star Generals immediately made their moves, not making any more plans. Yan Wudao's finger pointed. 88 black as ink crystalline flying swords suddenly emerged. The flying sword's black light glinted, spiraling around his body. 88 Nine Hells Rebirth flying swords? Zhao Hanyan raised her eyebrows. She gracefully held in a laugh, showing a bit of pleasant surprise. Yan Wudao's 9 Hells Rebirth flying swords enjoyed fame in the Azure Dragon territory. At its peak, it had 99, and seeing that Yan Wudao already controlled more than 80 flying swords, he clearly already was about to break through to the Sword Chant's final summit. This was a true genius. Zhao Hanyan regretfully looked at the calm and collected Xie Zhenyuan. 5 or 6 Star Masters surrounded Yan Wudao. Yan Wudao, could it be you are thinking of keeping everything to yourself? Li Xianyan shouted. His Star General Earthly Harm Star Stalk of Flower Kai Yunjin held in her hand the blood-marked lethal flower, letting out a baleful aura. After Wudao obtains the tears of Empress Wa, he will naturally yield to everyone else. Yan Wudao spoke, handling things without alarm. He looked at these Star Masters and Star Generals with a sort of considerably bit-player manner. However, it was no wonder he would. Yan Wudao's cultivation was clearly supercluster stage. Besides Zhao Hanyan and Xie Zhenyuan, everyone present was galaxy stage and above. He basically had no reason to be afraid, even if these Star Masters and Star Generals were earthly star grade. Agile Star Featherless Arrow Zhang Biluo spread open her fingers. 8 jadeite rhomboid sharp stones hovered around her fingers, fluttering with a flowing light. Yan Wudao, quickly leave. Allow this highness to take them first. Zhao Heng sneered. Zhao Heng will not haggle with you. Yan Wudao disdainfully smiled. His attitude of contempt undoubtedly ignited the tempers of everyone present. Those Star Maidens each showed killing intent. Sisters, let us join forces to destroy the Star Masters of these great sects. The one who spoke was the Transforming Life School's ranked 81st G-Star knife-wielding demon Chaozheng. 2 knife-wielding demon was the first to revolt. Dark technique, demon cry god slash. 3. The 4-star skilled butcher's ox dismembering saber broke out a black wind, the saber moving suddenly. The others simultaneously moved, terrified to the bone. The Dragon Spring Stream's complete star stream leaping tiger Chenjanlu raised her 3-star pouncing kill silver light spear, and swept down an ice-cold light. Mercilessness. The blood-marked lethal flower nimbly unfolded, the flower petals shooting bloodlight, winding around like knitted silk. There was also the Blue Waves Palace's victorious star flowery neck tiger Gong Wuyuan's dark hilt tiger devil sabers, astral breaking slash. Their star masters were also immediately using every sort of power and defensive ability. They used their flying swords to check against Yen Wudao's 9 Hells Rebirth flying swords, in order to avoid being cut down by Yen Wudao. Yen Wudao, you truly brought about your own end. Zhao Hing sneered. Suo Qingshuang straddled her raging inferno snow leopard horse, launching a charge with her 100,000 dragon flame axe. The 4-star generals surrounded him and attacked. Anyone would have felt that things were far from good. This princess's little brother truly is stupid. Zhao Hanyan dryly laughed. She had hardly finished speaking. Yen Wudao and Zhang Biluo's figures suddenly shattered apart. They were a complete illusion. 9 turns illusion scapegoat chant. 5. What Yen Wudao practices is apparently profound. Zhao Hanyan said. Yen Wudao and Zhang Biluo disappeared. All of the star general's dark techniques grasped nothing. There was a scream. Several rays of blue light attacked, and the arm of the transforming life school's cultivator was immediately crippled. Young master. Qiao Zheng hastily returned to protect her master. 100 zhang away, Zhang Biluo appeared. The asking directions to the underworld stone spun around, its 5 stars glimmering and shocking everyone present. A 5-star weapon. Zhao Hanyan's tone turned serious. The girl's short hair flew upward. Her cloak that was blown open lifted dust, and then once again hit her. Zhang Qing's innate skill is concealed weapon? Zhao Hanyan looked pensively. Of Maiden Mountain's 108 generals, she has the strongest concealed weapons. These earthly star little sisters are about to suffer. Dong Junqing sneered. Truly pitiful that Su Xing cannot personally witness the might of Zhang Qing. This princess wonders what he would do. Zhao Hanyan muttered. However, if Zhao Hanyan were to know that Su Xing at this moment had encountered the 5-star Guansheng, she probably would rejoice that she was relatively more lucky. 10 feet of blue Hunyangzi released these feelings are endless lasso and bound Guanying's wrist. With a pull, her right hand was yanked to her chest. These feelings are endless lasso used softness to conquer strength. Even if she was the solid as a boulder Guaning, her footsteps were unavoidably tugged over. Guaning waved her great blade. Hunyangzi was swift as a swallow. With a somersault, her cloak parted and revealed the spotlessly white skin of her body, glimpsing her erotic appearance. Fortunately, there already were no other males save for Su Xing in the entire Black Turtle Temple. Otherwise, Su Xing would unavoidably kill someone out of jealousy. Dodging Guanying's great blade, Hunyangzi thrust the saber backwards. Guaning made an elbow strike into Hunyangzi's chest. The girl spat out blood, and her body flew off. Yet the lasso in her left hand did not loosen one bit. She constantly bound Guaning, inhibiting the brave star's mobility. Due to her star master not being here, the current Guaning could not easily slip out. A screaming killing intent once again approached. Su Xing's hand gripped the 1,000-year divine sword and leaned his body forwards, not fearing Guanying's imposing aura in the slightest. But how could Guaning be trifled with? Instantly, she leaned back and slashed, using her blade to catch Su Xing's divine sword. In the next instant, she slashed towards Su Xing 3 times, the 3 slashes all landing on Su Xing and spraying blood. The meditative mind lotus flower bloomed then closed then bloomed. Repeating this over and over, he blocked the 5-star great blade. The Su Xing that had drank worry-free without a care could not feel the pain, and he was also fearless. His left hand punched away that final slash at his shoulder. Not giving Guaning the slightest gap in time, his right hand once again thrust out. Then Hunyangzi's golden wind slashed. Then, Ruanji Nurse Azure Sea's green duckweed pincer attacked. and then Shi Jingluan's yellow dragon staff. The star generals pressed in from the front, back, left and right without any interruption, at a speed that was too fast for the eye. The next continuous 40 exchanges were too much for the eyes to take in. Guanyin, firm as a moment, warded off the majority of the attacks. Yet she kept getting obstructed by Hunyangzi's "These feelings are endless" lasso. Although this lasso could not kill or hurt, it was long and not meant to kill. It was specialized in inhibiting movement, making Guanying's unrivaled and blade techniques completely incapable of bursting out. However, the one out of these star generals who made Guaning the most surprised was still Su Xing. 6. He dares to charge forth? He has the audacity charge forth. Guaning roared in fury, exploding with her innate skill unrivaled. These feelings are endless lasso was shaken off, and the other surrounding star generals were also repelled. To you, is it strength or weakness? The great blade fell, and 100 practically simultaneous blade chi were formed, like flooding rain. The ground between Su Xing and Guaning was ruined, ravaged as if was tofu, scattered and smashed. Clang clang. Su Xing gripped his sword with one hand and blocked with great difficulty her frost-fair blade. Guanying's wrist sunk, and the blade directly approached Su Xing's stomach. Her murderous aura ripped apart his blood vessels and flesh. Blood spattered in the sea, turning it a thorough red. Her question and her great blade were both overbearing. Hell if I know. Su Xing turned his hand over and slashed, his left palm sticking to Guanying's chest. A heart-piercing purple thunder penetrated Guanying, passing through her body. Guanying was just like a boulder, pushed back only half a step. A mere half step. The great blade returned. It shattered the earth and sea. Is this your answer? Guanying said in disappointment. Guansheng. There is no need to find an excuse to renounce your awe-inspiring righteousness, just die. Hunyangzi flew over, coldly interrupting. These feelings are endless lasso suddenly wove a net. The red string shuttled back and forth, glowing in the air. It wrapped around Guanying's pure white neck. Yellow technique, red string. 7. Guaning tugged back and rolled backwards, pulling Hunyangzi along, her strength powerful enough to make her expression change. Worldly things are markless. The marks are born of the heart. Su Xing struck with purple thunder, making Guaning take another step back. Strength or weakness, shouldn't you decide for yourself? Su Xing answered. He formed a hand seal. The 12 heaven-tearing flying swords gathered together in front of him, transforming into a giant sword, a hissing golden dragon. Guaning did not dodge. She lowered her head, concentrating on sensing the true danger, mulling over Su Xing's hackneyed answer, so hackneyed that Guaning already understood, yet still had not begun reflecting. In time that did not reach a second, for fronts exploded, purple thunder scattered, and heaven tearing directly slashed brave star great blade at the waist. The Guaning with her head lowered slashed back, blocking this strike with her imposing aura that carved the earth. Unrivaled azure dragon slashes blade chi sword, breaking heaven tearing. Su Xing spat a mouthful of blood. Oh, Guanying's hand split with a cut. But treating your object of perseverance as the reason for your defeat, could you still say this sort of big talk? Guaning shouted as she attacked. She seemed to have actually woken up, for she was no longer with her puppet-like gloom from before. Her expression let out a luster that he had not seen in a long time. Guaning, in the end, do you treat the object of your perseverance as strength or weakness? Su Xing shouted, returning the question. Guanying's whole body shook, as if an electric current was passing through. This shudder made the purple brilliant moon's slashing blade stagnate along the way, exposing an irrevocably large gap. Perhaps it could be said that she had never thought of redemption. Guaning only stared blankly at Su Xing's firm expression. Just what the hell do you treat the object of your perseverance as? These words echoed like a bell in her mind. The devil star on her weapon cried. Guaning suddenly felt her stomach chill. A burning flaming fish king's saber pierced through her heart, interrupting Guanying's contemplation. But the brave star's gaze was more radiant than any time previously. Was hers strength or weakness? Accept death. Zhang Feiyu said in a low voice, the Fish King's saber a blaze of rolling red flame. When the others saw that she had seized on an opening, they were like vultures flocking over. Shi Jingluan's azure dragon blade, Hunyangzi's golden wind and morning dew, Ruan Meier's dragon king dagger, Li Shuangfei's southern barbarian sword and dead leaves darts, Zhou Feng of broken skies, Sun Xinyue's grazing deer full moon saber, and even Ruan Jiner mustered all the strength in her body to use her dark-ranked duckweed are broken a third time due to the enormous hate she had for Guansheng. The Azure Sea's green duckweed sword pierced through Guan Ying's body. Each of the star weapons penetrated Guan Ying's limbs and bones. The brave star had been stuck full of blades all at the same time. Even a universal golden immortal would be powerless to return to heaven. But not only was brave star Guaning not sorrowful or in despair, on the contrary, the corner of her mouth showed an unfathomable smile. Her gaze did not look at the hatred of her sisters. She stared only at Su Xing, not uttering a word. Guan Ying's figure immediately broke apart, becoming a trail of dust, fallen back into the star nest. The absolutely devastated Black Turtle Temple finally regained its calm. Su Xing took in a deep breath. This battle was finally over. A 5-star Guansheng in addition to a supercluster peak star master. Guansheng honestly was not easy to handle. This many people had practically exhausted themselves to finally subdue her. And an important reason for this of course was the many water generals here. The star magic of water generals in water honestly was a state of fishes back in water. Pity that without a contract, they always were greatly weakened. It seemed that this battle not only made Su Xing experience the might of the 5-star Great Blade, he would have to consider the future star duels like Shi Jingluan. We were unable to kill her. Ruan Jiner was drained, speaking hatefully. Guaning using a devil weapon will naturally become the target of all. For the 3 heavenly books, I believe she will not pass. Shi Jingluan confidently smiled. Her gaze seemingly glancing at Su Xing recalling the rumor that Holy Lord of Draconic Demon said about the purple thunder monster possessing multiple star generals. Her eyes narrowed, not at all convinced of this. In this battle, Guansheng could be said to be an ominous danger, and she did not see Lin Chong emerge. Most probably, the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was deliberately playing a trick. After all, everyone wanted the birth treasure outline. Su Xing looked at the throbbing blue flame of the black turtle seal, and the great good fortune pill. Although the powerful enemies of the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, Great Saint Star Killer, and the other several Black Turtle Territory devil cults left Black Turtle Temple in succession, Su Xing also knew that things were far from over. After losing their common enemy, the true battle was about to begin. The atmosphere once again sunk into a deadlock, a silent terror. Shi Jingluan's face wore a slight smile as she looked at Su Xing, then beckoned towards Gu Tong and the others. The star generals of the Spring Breeze Drunken Rain Pavilion hesitated a moment. After they nodded in thanks to Su Xing, they walked over to Shi Jingluan's side. A sneer brushed past Ruan Jiner's mouth as she indifferently watched those enticing dragon snake great good fortune pills. I said before that I would renounce the great good fortune pills if we kill Guaning. I meant what I said. She gave Ruan Meier a look, and defeat Star Living King Yama. Ruan Meier agreed. She released the Anitya Dragon King beast that was on its last legs and climbed onto the beast's back with her elder sister. Ruan Jiner's strength was tough, but she was already suffering and helpless after 3 dark techniques. If this continued, Ruan Jiner could not guarantee that she would not fall out with that water illusion fairy's man. She might as well find a platform and directly descend. After taking a few good fortune pills in passing, she looked at the alligator dragon sea-swallowing call that Ruan Pinger left behind. Ruan Jiner's heart once again filled with grief and sorrow. Recalling that for the sake of these pills that their 5th sister dies here, Ruan Jiner's throat choked up, and she sobbed silently. She did not have the air of a fort master at all, making Ruan Meier continuously console her elder sister, which made herself appear as if she was the elder sister. Their battle with Guansheng was far from over. The 2 Ruans left the Black Turtle Temple. Shi Jingluan's brows wrinkled, and her gaze once again returned to Su Xing. Looks like this dragon snake great good fortune pill will be a bit tricky. Su Xing calmly said. Does young Lord Su's words mean you are unwilling to give up on this? Shi Jingluan said. Of course I promised Yuqi, so I definitely will help her achieve it. She's heavily injured, and now, she just happens to need this pill to recover. I cannot have come in vain. Su Xing was calm. Your distinguished self truly can tell jokes. Shi Jingluan laughed aloud, only treating Su Xing's desire to help Zhang Yuqi's affairs as a not-so-funny joke. Su Xing did not explain. Shi Jingluan, if you don't want to be bleeped by me, then I'd advise you give up. Zhang Feiyu's face was completely red, hefting her flaming fish king saber as she coldly spoke. The water illusion fairy stood beside Su Xing, making the two appear like one. As far as Shi Jingluan was concerned, the result indeed was not particularly bright. Although the Nine Dragons Palace still had Gutong and the other three, any way she looked at them, they had a friendly relationship with Su Xing. The girl would never take action. Perhaps there was no harm in giving Su Xing the great good fortune pill. Gutong, Xinyue, you all go back and properly rest first. Shi Jingluan indifferently said. Elder sister Jingluan. Gutong hesitated. You all are somewhat friendly with your distinguished self Su Xing. For anything about to happen, I do not wish to destroy the relationship between us, sister. Shi Jingluan tenderly smiled. Your distinguished self, what say you? Su Xin nodded, not opposing. Gutong and the others looked at each other. They knew that it was useless for them to speak any more about the cruelty of the star duels. They could only assent, keep their silence. Glancing conflictedly at Su Xing, Gutong sighed. Very quickly, the Black Turtle Temple was left with only Su Xing, Hunyangzi, Zhang Feiyu and Shiyu as well as 9 tattooed dragon Shi Jingluan. Shi Jingluan, I Feiyu shall be blunt. Boatman Zhang Feiyu's blade shuddered. Sparks burned on the water and scattered. Her little sister's grave injuries and coma made the balanced stars tone full with violence. I fear things aren't so simple. Su Xing calmly said. I heard that you and the three Ruans previously worked together, but you should have all come here for the sake of the dragon snake great good fortune pill. Even if you joined hands to defeat all opponents, there is only one great good fortune pill in the end. How can you alone handle the three Ruans? Shi Jin, I see that you are a smart person. Clearly, you wouldn't make such a submissive gesture. Pausing, Su Xing faintly smiled. I'm guessing you should have retained a backup. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the Oriole behind. And shouldn't that Oriole come out now? You truly are a brilliant man. I have a whole new level of respect for you now. Shi Jingluan was neither fast nor slow, lowering head and laughing. Hunyangzi Zhang Feiyu and Shiyu gazed in astonishment at Su Xing Qingxi come out. This man already knows. Shi Jingluan said. Qingxi? The seawater of the main hall parted, and a woman as beautiful as a painting gracefully walked out, stepping daintily over the water, her footsteps making dripping sounds. She used her footsteps that were light as a feather to walk over. The woman wore a snow-white robe, with a blue and white embroidered old-style long skirt. The corners of her skirt dragged along the ground snow and clouds. She had a cloud bun and hung locks of hair along her face. Her black hair was like a waterfall, with a jade hairpin stuck in at an angle. Her belt was inlaid with silver, a very picturesque beauty. Lord Su, we truly have a connection. Qingxi's brows slightly wrinkled, quite distressed. Su Xing smiled. It really is you, Qingxi. You truly make Big Brother pleasantly surprised. Yellow rank concealed weapon. Plum Rain. The life-transforming school's cultivator screamed. A concealed weapon directly attacking his forehead. His mere galaxy early-stage cultivation was feeble to being practically joke in the face of a 5-star concealed weapon. His forehead was pierced through, blood flowing like a river. His star general G-star knife-wielding demon Chaozheng attacked with fury. When her contractor died, Chaozheng also sustained heavy injury, spitting blood as she fell to a knee. In front of the king of concealed weapons, losing consciousness was the same as death. An astral wind blew, and blue light flashed. 2 asking directions to the underworld stones flew over. The butcher's ox dismembering saber did everything it could to block. It defended against the first hidden weapon, but the other one attacked from another odd blind spot, smashing a bloody hole through Chaozheng's body. Unresigned, she star fell, careful of Zhang Qing's concealed weapons. You cannot defend against her at all, Kill her star master, Yin Wudao. Zhao Heng shouted. Zhang Biluo straddled a star beast known as Green Bird, with a full body of green feathers and a yellow crown. Like gentle breeze in the palace of Empress Hua, its whereabouts were fleeting. They were completely unable to track it. Even if they were able to locate Zhang Biluo, Featherless Arrow's nickname was not for show. The asking directions to the underworld stones let out a blue light, appearing and disappearing randomly, undefendable, as if they could attack from any angle. Yen Wudao coolly watched the spectacle, but he used his flying swords to protect himself. Occasionally, a bit of trouble was made, but most of his concentration was on Zhao Hanyan, her pair of eyes icy and sharp, like a hawk. And it was the nature of a hawk to look down from above and play tricks on prey. Can you get by? Zhang Biluo giggled. A slim finger pointed, and the asking directions to the underworld stones flew out, hiding into the air. Zhang Biluo's realm already reached matchless 5th stage. How could these earthly star little sisters defend? Her innate skill also was gods appear devils vanish, and she controlled her concealed weapons like arms, more formidable than flying swords. Zhao Heng and the others were beaten into a complete mess. The 6 people unexpectedly were without any way out. The ranked 78th victorious starflowery-necked tiger Gong Wuyuan's speed was eerily quick, twice evading concealed weapons in succession. But Zhang Biluo turned to attack her master. With the cultivator of the life-transforming cultivator as an example, how could Gong Wuyuan dare be careless? Young master, get the tears, I shall protect you. Gong Wuyuan's voice sunk, and then she said to her sisters, we only need to protect our young masters as they obtain the tears. Defend against Zhang Qing's concealed weapons. There is no need to engage. Sua Qingshuang and Chen Zhanlu nodded. One was an impatient vanguard heavenly star, and the other possessed the mountain stream flicker that barely could contend against the incoming concealed weapons. The Blue Waves Palace's cultivator understood. He turned, and his hand flipped out a smoking sheep jade bottle. The bottle let out a lingering cloud of smoke. The tears of Empress Hua immediately were absorbed into that smoke. This bottle, known as One Air Bottle, too, was capable of sucking in the odd materials of the world and refine them. In the Blue Waves Palace, it was considered a powerful prehistoric spirit treasure. When this bottle emerged, even Yen Wudao's eyes glinted. He then gave Zhang Biluo a meaningful glance. The girl understood and made a sneaky smile. Zhao Heng looked at his own artifact for gathering materials, and only felt destitute. Greed flashed through his eyes, and he sent Sua Qingshuang a sound transmission. The Blue Waves Palace cultivator naturally guarded against the prying eyes of the others, releasing several magic weapons and maintaining a certain distance from the others. His hand even clenched the outlaw Liangshan jade pendant to flee at a moment's notice. His plan was thorough, but the ill feelings of others was even harder to defend against than concealed weapons. Zhang Qing watched this. Sua Qingshuang spurred the raging inferno snow leopard horse, whose whinny suddenly changed. She launched her innate skill charge, and a fire dragon charged faster than a thunderbolt to the Blue Waves Palace cultivator. Sua Qingshuang's axe slashed, and Zhao Heng used his flying swords at the same time, suddenly breaking his defenses. The Blue Waves Palace cultivator was too late to react. He screamed, and then he was beheaded by the impatient vanguard Sua Qingshuang spurring her horse into a gallop. Zhao Heng's eyes were clear and his hands quick. He waved and snatched the One Air Bottle. Paw 3. His palm was penetrated by a hole, and Zhao Heng screamed. The One Air Bottle was knocked high into the air. Zhao Heng watched the treasure fly away, his impatience crying more wretchedly. A flying figure took the One Air Bottle. Your Highness, careful. Several concealed weapons whooshed over. Sua Qingshuang seized the reckless Zhao Heng and drew back. His eyes stared at the One Air Bottle in midair being taken by Zhang Biluo. Your Highness Zhao Heng, many thanks for your kindness. The girl giggled. You bitch, I will fuck you dead. Zhao Heng cursed. You lowly man, the one dying is you. A furious roar shook the grounds. Victorious starflowery-necked tiger Gong Wuyuan endured the pain of losing her master. Straddling the star beast multicolored tiger, she pounced at Zhao Heng like a berserk tiger. Zhao Heng was caught off guard. Sustaining a slash and a claw, he was fortunate that Gong Wuyuan had suffered heavy injury, for her strength was not as it was before. Zhao Heng scowled in anger. His hand waved, and a divine fire-flying sword turned to attack. Suo Qingshuang spurred her horse, its four hooves thundering as she instantly slayed Gong Wuyuan. The girl let out a tiger's hiss of hatred, and then star fell. The power of her crimson star descended, making Zhao Heng's anger substantially quell. Zhao Heng, what are you doing? Li Xianyan changed, hastily retreating. Kai Yunjin's hand grasped the blood-marked lethal flower, and its blood flowers twisted. Yellow technique. Life-taking. 200,000 fire dragons rapid kill. Suo Qingshuang's hands waved her axe, and surging fire dragons roared out of the axe's blade. Streaming out like a river, they were out of hand. Li Xianyan activated his heavenly river sword technique, spitting out rock-piercing water droplets. The 100,000 fire dragons immediately destroyed all of their techniques. Li Xianyan and Kai Yunjin jumped, falling back 100 chi. Gazing at this collapsing alliance, Yin Wudao's smile was full of even more derision. Your alliance fell apart so quickly? Truly disappointing. Zhang Biluo had the same feeling. She suddenly showed a row of pearly white teeth, a candid grin. This is bad. Ranked 95th earthly damage Starstalk of Flower Kai Yunjin made the blood-marked lethal flower circle her surroundings, blocking the concealed weapons. On the other side, the impatient Zhao Heng was not so fortunate. Suo Qingshuang's raging inferno snow leopard horse swung several times in succession, knocking Flight Star impatient Vanguard off her horse. The girl's gracefulness completely vanished. Gritting her teeth, she waved out her 100,000 dragon flame axe. Bang bang. The omnipresent concealed weapon struck home, beating Suo Qingshuang into vomiting blood. Zhao Heng also was suffering wretchedly. Your Highness Zhao Heng, Biluo shall take your life. Zhang Biluo appeared riding on her green bird, showing a clean smile that was full of purity, yet the words she spoke would leave someone more terror-stricken than a reaper. 8 asking directions to the underworld stones whirled around her fingers, flickering with a dark green light, as if they were will-o-wisps. Imperial sister, help me. Zhao Heng's demeanor practically disappeared. There was only pale terror. Dong Junqing pensively smiled. Zhao Hanyan sighed. The entire ugly course of events was witnessed by the Ling Yan princess' eyes. She only felt that her own imperial brother was unbearably ugly. Not only did he shift blame to others, he had fallen to such a state that he looked like a beaten stray dog. This really served him right. Remembering that he was, after all, her dear little brother, Zhao Hanyan was not yet actually cold and pitiless. The Ling Yan princess unhurriedly turned her gaze, looking to Xie Yuan. The latter was mellow as water, a calm demeanor neither cold nor hot. Xie Yuan, until when will you still wait to become the snipe that catches both the clam and fish? Maybe after you have died? Zhao Hanyan thought this was funny. The Xie Yuan in possession of the Succeed Star General, 3. Already long lost the capabilities to Star Duel, however his supercluster middle stage cultivation and most high-path genius disciples Halo were more useful than the Succeed Star. Yen Wudao's Zhang Biluo possesses 5-star concealed weapons. If you fight alone, could it be you have a chance of winning? Is it not better to wait for that Crystal Dragon Palace to arrive? Xie Yuan said in no rush. He and Zhao Hanyan actually were thinking the same thing. Who knows where she is hiding? By the time she reveals herself, we will have been defeated by Yen Wudao. Zhao Hanyan faintly said. Were you waiting for me? Your servant is truly apologetic. A clear, sing-song voice rang out. A young girl walked out. Her face was beautiful, with eyes like a red phoenix's, a pure and limpid dark blue. Her brows were like green mountains, her lips like cinnabar, skin like snow, and a fresh, clean dark blue wave smoke muslin skirt that elegantly accentuated the girl's plump curves. Her white cloak embroidered with cherry blossoms was not ostentatious in the slightest, yet it was still eye-catching. Beside the girl was another woman. A night pearl hung, binding her long, flowing hair. She wore a goose-yellow long skirt, and her figure was wonderful. She was also a naturally beautiful belle. The pair from a glance actually seemed to have a Star General's background. However, that fine-haired woman's hand held a jade sword, its body bright, seemingly crystalline, like flowing water. Light twinkled, emitting a dragon's cry. 5 flowing stars, which made Zhao Hanyan's brows rise. Flying waterfall dragon cry sword. Earthly star, one of the 4 heavenly kings, the rank 38th malignant star guardian of 3 mountains Huang Xian. The Crystal Dragon Palace's star general, surprisingly a martial general from the earthly star 4 heavenly kings. Zhao Hanyan was even more curious about that Long Nu. Not only herself, but Xiejin Yuan and Yan Wudao also cast concentrated gazes. Supercluster middle stage peak. The Crystal Dragon Palace was, as expected, Liangshan continent's #1 treasure great sect. The cultivation of the disciples under its care surprisingly were not outdone by her own. Zhao Hanyan had relied on the purple smoke-confusing sky lantern in order to quickly advance her cultivation. She wondered what opportunities that woman had. Have you looked carefully enough? Lingyan Princess? Your servant Long Nu hails from the Crystal Dragon Palace. Long Nu slightly smiled. Long Nu, your servant wonders what relationship you have with that Queen Mother of Crystal Long Wanxin? 5 Zhao Hanyan asked. Long Nu's mother. So you are the princess of the Crystal Dragon Palace. Zhao Hanyan did not dare slight her. Hearing her father emperor mention many times the name of Queen Mother of Crystal Long Wanxin, his words were full of admiration and praise. Zhao Hanyan had never thought that the Star Master of the Crystal Dragon Palace would surprisingly come from an influential family. Long Nu's rank is 7th. Your servant would not dare compare herself to the Lingyan princess. It turns out she is that rumored 7th princess. Dong Junqing licked her lips. Princesses, have you chatted enough? Xiejin Yuan interrupted them. Zhao Hanyan giggled, as did Long Nu. Their identities were both well known in the Azure Dragon territory, and they could not help but chat upon meeting. Long Nu had been entangled with the Divinewood Valley Star Master just now, a minor delay. Please do not take offense. Long Nu smiled. Seeing that her body had faint traces of a Crimson Star's power, perhaps this minor delay had destroyed her opponent. Zhao Hanyan seemed to recall the star general of the Divinewood Valley's cultivator was the ranked 62nd wild star Harry Star Kongming, Kongxi, 6, who actually was not an impressive opponent. Yan Wudao's star general Zhang Biluo is unexpectedly already 5-star. Truly formidable. Long Nu warmly pondered. To face a king of concealed weapons, is 7th princess willing to cooperate? The tears of Empress Hua are endless. Before the eyes close, we can equally share. Zhao Hanyan said. For the Lingyan princess to say this, Long Nu is overwhelmed by your favor. Long Nu nodded. She naturally would not decline, for she was very clear on the might of Zhang Biluo's concealed weapons. That man running away is also an enemy? Guardian of 3 mountains Huang Mingrui pointed at the Zhao Heng on sinister errands, mocking him. Imperial sister, rescue me. Zhao Heng already turned from help to rescue. Zhang Biluo's omnipresent asking directions to the underworld stone struck Suo Qingshuang senseless. So he turned out to be the Lingyan princess' imperial brother. Long Nu held back a snicker. No need to mind him. The star duels are merciless anyways. However, it is best that we face Zhang Qing first. Zhao Hanyan said earnestly. Xiejin Yuan and Long Nu nodded. Then they each formed hand seals, launching their flying swords. Long Nu's flying swords were an extremely rare sword chant, as expected, dust-washing flying swords. When these swords emerged, each showed a blue wave's true dragon, a fierce intimidation. The 3 people flashed and scuttled into the main hall's center. Houruolian, Dong Junqing and Huang Mingrui each rode their star beasts. However, that Houruolian star beast was a treasure monkey in her palm made Zhao Hanyan very speechless. Huang Mingrui had a single-horned, iron-armored ox-like star beast. It was called Terrible Leg. 7 considered a top-notch star beast among the earthly stars. On the star beast list it was ranked 10th. Imperial sister. When Zhao Heng saw Zhao Hanyan come forward, he was moved to having tears stream all over his face. Zhao Hanyan coldly glanced at him. Dong Junqing raised her double spears and was about to attack. 8, scaring Zhao Heng into immediately retreating 100 meters. Dong Junqing laughed, no longer minding him. It seems Wu Dao has become the villain? Yan Wu Dao was refined and elegant, not flinching at all facing the glaring eyes of Zhao Hanyan and the others. There is no good or evil to be spoken of in the star duels. However, Yan Wu Dao, your Zhangqing is so ostentatious, we honestly are not confident unless we work together. Zhao Hanyan indifferently said. Yan Wu Dao gently smiled, his eyes saying, "Could it be you believe that teamwork can overcome me? Just walk down Biluo's, hell has no road." 9. The green bird was like wind manifest, and Zhang Biluo made an unbridled provocation. "Allow Mingrui." Guardian of 3 mountains Huang Mingrui's hand gripped her flying waterfall dragon cry sword and smiled, her terrible leg moving. Zhao Hanyan and the others simultaneously attacked with their flying swords. The star generals acted together. Wind and thunder rose. A rain of blood fell. Black Turtle Temple. Su Xing currently stood opposite Qingxi. The latter's side had 2 streaks of light flash by. Black Whirlwind Li Longkue and Fiery Thunderbolt Qin Mingyue simultaneously appeared on her left and right. "Zhang Feiyu, I ask you, under whose hand will the deer die now?" Shi Jingluan laughed. With the assistance of 2 heavenly star martial generals, 9 tattooed dragons' chances of victory were more certain. Zhang Feiyu's expression was unsightly. She had never thought that such a thing would surprisingly occur. Of course, something she would have ever thought of even more was yet to come. "Little sister Qingxi, are you planning to move with Big Brother?" Su Xing put on a fake smile. "Qingxi, you recognize him?" Shi Jingluan asked, flabbergasted. Qingxi slightly nodded, her lips slightly moving. Shi Jingluan's brows wrinkled, and slight murderous desire flashed past her eyes. Compared to Qingxi's indecisiveness, the Imperial Empress of the 9 Dragons was not so benevolent. Qingxi never thought that Lord Su would come to the Black Turtle territory. Qingxi sighed. Because she had planned for Su Xing to make the first move in the future star duels to make the righteous Lin Chong and others to change their minds, she did not wish to fall out with Su Xing right now. Of course, Qingxi was very clear that even if they did fall out, she would have endless losses without benefits. Even if it was overwhelmingly advantageous for her to join hands with 9 tattooed dragons this time to face Su Xing, Qingxi knew that Su Xing had the jade pendant. Killing him was a dream. Since they were unable to kill him, to offend a top-notch star master that possessed Lin Chong and Wu Song was a gain that did not make up the losses. The Qingxi who was constantly situated in the middle of a contradiction. And it was precisely this sort of contradiction that made her occasionally bewildered at the star duels. Why would the Lin Chong and Wu Song who had never signed a contract in 1,000 years now sign a contract? Just what was the background of this man? But this sort of bewilderment had never easily flowed out. Qingxi's stomach churned 100 times, and Su Xing also was brainstorming. "Qingxi." Shi Jingluan's tone was grave. Li Longkue was also growing impatient. Qingxi slightly shook her head, again looking at Su Xing. How could Qingxi turn hostile against Big Brother? But Qingxi does not know what to do. Could Lord Su yield the great good fortune pill to little sister? What if Qingxi and I signed a contract? How do you feel about that? Su Xing pondered. Qingxi was taken aback. She smiled. Qingxi is a star master. How can we sign a contract? Lord Su is forcing Qingxi. That's so. Su Xing's eyes narrowed. However, I'm also kidding. Even if you actually agreed, Qingxi, there is no way I could have yielded. I already promised Yuqi. Lord Su truly plans to give it to her? Qingxi was doubtful. A true man keeps his promises. Su Xing was calm. It seems things can only be like this. There is no need for dear husband to take action. Hunyangzi gripped the golden wind and morning dew double sabers and stood in front of Su Xing. Although she looked exhausted, she did not cover her water-like beauty. Qingxi was slightly suspicious, flipping out her birth treasure outline and aiming it at Hunyangzi. Su Xing naturally was also blunt. Both of their birth treasure outline appeared at the same time. The 2 golden books radiated light, and waves of golden light shone clear and crystalline. Su Xing's birth treasure outline successively flipped through the materials for 9 tattooed dragons and Qin Mingyue. Star position, Fierce Star name, Qin Ming nickname, Fiery Thunderbolt true name. Qin Mingyue rank. 7th star weapon. Wolf-toothed fire beacon mace 4-star. Star beast. Fire feather thunder beast realm. Matchless 6th stage innate skill. Thunderclap intimidation 5 elements. Fire yellow rank special move. Fire beacon reaching sky 2 dark rank special move. Dark rank special move. Flame engulfing mountains rivers 3 current status. Uprising cannot be conquered detailed. Materials. Because he knew from Lining Mei that Fiery Thunderbolt Qin Mingyue was a very fierce lowly. When he saw the materials for Qin Mingyue's status, Su Xing was not every surprised. It was actually when Su Xing looked at 9 tattooed dragons that he was startled. Star position, minute star name, Shijin 5 nickname, 9 tattooed dragons true name, Shijingluan 6 rank, 23rd star weapon, 9 dragons divine arms 7, yellow dragon staff, 8, 4-star. White dragon sword 9th 2-star. Crimson dragon Baotin 2-star. Green dragon saber 11 2-star. Black dragon club 12 2-star. Sea dragon halberd 13 2-star. Earth dragon shield 14 2-star. Sky dragon chains 2-star. Dragon trapping 9 section staff 16 2-star. Star beast, single horn Pishio beast realm. Matchless 5th stage innate skill. Dragon tattoo 5 elements. Earth yellow rank special move. Dragon leaning mountain 17 staff. White lake overturning waves 18 sword. Dragon piercing heart 19 bow. Heavenly net earthly bond 20 chains. Reign of centipedes 21 9 section staff. Dark rank special move. Yellow dragon worships heaven staff. Dragon burning extreme break 22 bow. 9 dragons 9 flashes 9 section staff. Current status. Not contracted can be conquered. Detailed materials. 9 dragons divine arms. Looking at that long list of weapons, Su Xing's eyes were dazed. The reputation that the legendary 9 tattooed dragons had 9 weapons was not in vain, as expected. She practically had everything she needed available. Although what combat paid particular attention to was specialization, more weapons contrarily being more mixed. If Shijingluan was to randomly change weapons during battle, that would be a frightening variable. The Su Xing that was full of combat experience was very clear. A sudden change in attack rhythm would bring great chance of victory. What made Su Xing impressed was that Shijingluan was even able to upgrade all of her star weapons to 2-star, with the yellow dragon staff even nearing the 5-star level. Only the master of a palace could have so much capital. However, what made Su Xing curious was that Shijingluan's status was not yet uprising. It was very odd. Shijingluan's heart was slightly unhappy to be looked at with the birth treasure outline. She looked at Qingxi with slight confusion, trifling with a star master in addition to addressing her opponent as if they were siblings despite being enemies. She felt that even neutered person would hurt in the balls. After looking through the materials, Su Xing again pointed the birth treasure outline at Qingxi. However, as before, the golden light of the birth treasure outline glowed without a bit of reaction. Su Xing was suspicious that Qingxi could possibly be Songjiang, but this purple star treasure that supposedly could illuminate the names of all star maidens nevertheless was unable to. Could it be that Qingxi actually was only a star master? Was his planning excessive? Elder sister, make a move. Li Longkue was impatient, her killing intent soaring. Her star weapon had already reached 3-star, and her baleful aura was even more exaggerated. Just make a move. Be careful that you are not tricked in turn by someone putting on an act. Zhang Feiyu's words did not spare them. Seeing her little sister was still comatose, she already was violently thinking of quickly ending the Black Turtle Temple affair. Using such great effort for the sake of this dragon snake great good fortune pill. To use martial force is the sole method that is best at persuasion. Of course, if you are not careful and die in the process, you can only blame yourself for your ineptitude. Shijingluan spun her staff. Hey! Zhang Feiyu was about to attack. Wait! Su Xing suddenly called her back. Zhang Feiyu subconsciously stopped. Wait until this woman forcibly annihilates you? Su Xing rolled his eyes, saying to Qingxi. Qingxi, after this Black Turtle Temple, I have something ask of you. I wonder if little sister Qingxi would be willing to agree. The implication was that this fight would rely on their own skills, and the loser would have to accept the result. Lord Su's request, Qingxi naturally will not decline. Qingxi discerned the hidden meaning in Su Xing's words, gladly agreeing. Su Xing shot a glance at the dragon snake great good fortune pill, and then he looked and smiled at Shi Jingluan. What Lady Jingluan says is right. We have to each rely on our own skill. If we die, we can't be resentful. I will generously bury this Lord Su. Shi Jingluan's charming gaze drifted over. Following Shi Jingluan's figure flying out, Li Longkui and Qin Mingyue also took action at the same time. Qingxi raised a Taotai cauldron to take the dragon snake great good fortune pill. Su Xing rushed over even faster. Wife little Huang. Su Xing softly said. Gongsun Huang emerged from Star Nest and sat on Su Xing's shoulder. The refined and elegant little girl understood tacitly, pointing her sword. Suddenly, the ground and hills of the Black Turtle Temple shook, the skies and seas crumbled. Half-destroyed landscape. A berserk power frantically squeezed the hall. Shi Jingluan, Li Longkui and Qin Mingyue had no choice but to stop the attack, to defend with all their might. Qingxi did not expect at all for Gongsun Huang to use her dark rank technique a fourth time. This honestly was shocking. This is bad, we fell for his trap. Nine Tattooed Dragon's complexion suddenly changed. Black Turtle Temple collapsed. The originally critical Black Turtle Seal's blue fire immediately extinguished, and the dragon snake great good fortune pill emerged. Seizing this moment, Hunyangzi flourished her hand, throwing the this feeling is endless lasso, dragging the thing over. You have an Oriole, I have a phoenix. Su Xing's laugh pierced through the violent ocean. Lord Su. Qingxi grit her teeth, waving her hand. A ray of black light struck at Su Xing astonishingly. It was the Yazi saber. Bang. Golden wind and morning dew were tossed, intercepting the astral treasure. Dear husband. Hunyangzi shouted. The dragon snake great good fortune pill appeared in his hand. Little sis Qingxi, your servant's wife needs to rest. I don't want to fight anymore. I'll come find you next time. Don't forget to brew big brother a cup of tea. Su Xing smiled, grabbed Hunyangzi and quickly escaped just like that. When Zhang Feiyu and Shiyu saw this, they also voluntarily grabbed a handful of the other good fortune pills, glowed with an escape light, and immediately left this place. Shi Jingluan wanted to go pursue, but under the chaotic tail escape, how could she ever be able to catch up? After several breaths, Su Xing broke away from the fuming 9 tattooed dragons of the Black Turtle Temple. Qingxi stared blankly, still not daring to believe what had just happened in front of her. In just this brief instant, Su Xing easily snatched away the dragon snake great good fortune pill. Qingxi completely did not expect that Su Xing had already finished planning. Remembering that she was still hesitating indeterminately a moment ago, Qingxi made a self-deprecating chuckle. Qingxi ah. Could it be you wanted to be scorned by men for a lifetime? Her laugh was ear-piercing, bearing a slight roughness. Li Longkui's expression sunk, pervading with killing intent. The most violent Qin Mingyue was downcast. Having died once before, she currently had not reached a stage of complete recovery. Qingxi. Shi Jingluan descended before Qingxi. Staring fixedly at her, 9 tattooed dragons chewed out word by word. I need one reason why I should not kill him. A reason to kill him. Jingluan, you actually have many. Qingxi bitterly smiled. These words surprised 9 tattooed dragons. Qingxi, what do you mean? Qingxi summarized her explanation. After hearing that unbelievable story, Shi Jingluan's smile vanished. What? He is the purple thunder monster, why? Because he cannot be killed. After what happened, little sister Jingluan ought to be very clear how cunning that man is. To be frank, he recognizes Qingxi as his little sister, and there must be a purpose. Qingxi said. Humph. Li Longkui clearly did not recognize such words that he could not be killed. In the killer star's eyes, other than Qingxi, there was nothing that could not be killed. How can this type of star master be? Shi Jingluan nearly was about to curse Qingxi for being stupid. Just as she was about to say it, she still swallowed her words. Could it be, Qingxi, you are not worried that he could be sent by Maiden Mountain? There is only one reason he can contract so many star generals. Regardless of the reason, The fourth Phase 3 heavenly books will naturally reveal the result. Qingxi said. You have truly made this decision? Shi Jingluan seriously asked. And, since it is Qingxi who decided, I shall believe in you. However, that man is too dangerous. I cannot believe in him, and will still need to monitor him. Anyway, Shi Jingluan and Qingxi put it, they had helped each other from the very start. Their relationship was closer than sisters. Qingxi looked around and already could not see the original appearance of the Black Turtle Temple, and sighed at the ruins. We were unable to save Ruan Xiaowu. This cannot be blamed on you, who allowed that sword star Ruan Jiner to insist on declining the uprising. Shi Jingluan pursed her lips. Although she felt this was a pity, she nevertheless was without a choice. Right, Qingxi, is it possible to have Ruan Jiner join the uprising again? With revenge as a reason, although Guansheng was slain, she has not truly star-fallen. The three Ruans will not let her go, but for Ruan Jiner to think of killing the 5-star destined weapon Brave Star Great Blade, just relying on the Jinpingmai's water fort alone is practically a fool's dream. Qingxi shall go test her again. Qingxi nodded. Then this will be all. Shi Jingluan was also weary. This Black Turtle Temple had wasted enormous energy, and was actually wasted effort in the end. The Minute Star was incomparably dispirited. That man. That damned man. It was as if she had seen him somewhere before. Return to the palace. Shi Jingluan released the 9 dragons aromatic cart. The group entered the cart, and it broke the surface, surging through the waves. The ruins were farther and farther away. Su Xing grimaced in pain. Bai Yutong emerged from the star nest and gave Su Xing her last bit of worry-free without a care to alleviate his suffering. In the future, it was better to use this chaotic tail escape sparingly. It truly would invite misfortune upon him. Su Xing's mind gradually recovered clarity. Hunyangzi breathed a sigh of relief. How is Yuqi? Su Xing asked. Little sister is still comatose. Zhang Feiyu said fidgety. There is no need to worry too much. Go back, I'll help take care of her. But, Feiyu, your care is in a state of confusion. Star generals that have contracted can resurrect. If she honestly cannot go on, just sign a contract. You consoled her. But where do we find a STA? Zhang Feiyu stopped halfway and recalled something as she stared at Su Xing. Someone was shameless to the point of being awe-inspiring. Go back for now. Do not leave from the closest location. Perhaps those sects are already guarding the tree stump and waiting for rabbits. Hunyangzi suggested. Dear husband has the 10,000-year evil-suppressing gem bamboo flying swords. The Black Turtle Territory's devil sects will not let dear husband go. Su Xing thought so as well. He tenderly smiled at Hunyangzi. Fortunately, there is wife to remind me. This is what Nyangzi should be doing. Hunyangzi's face was a rare red. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.